And that's right, it's us. It's Mr. Young.
And it's Ford in the building. How are you, brother?
I'm doing all right. Coming to you on a Sunday morning. Yes, it's one of those shows. Thanks for joining us nonetheless. And you can tell the Sunday morning vibe and the Tuesday afternoon vibe a little bit different, you know?
No, it's okay. I mean, I think it's worth the less energy because we have the energy brought to us by our guests, bro. That's the difference.
Yes.
Right?
Actually, you know, I want to have I have a thing with what you just said. Less energy, bro. Once we start talking about AEW All In London, bro, we're gonna bring the energy, all right? Because man, what an exciting! I can't lie, bro. I can't lie.
Negative or positive energy? Which one are you talking about? Let's be clear, bro.
All right. All jokes aside, right? Yes. Don't get your pitchforks out quite yet. We are going to do a little bit of a preview of AEW All In London. It's one of their big events. You know, their WrestleMania, as it were. We'll gauge our hype level in just a bit just by looking at the card.
Okay, first of all, right, I completely forgot it was next week.
Okay.
I completely forgot AEW All In was next week, bro.
We are starting this off on a bad note.
No. It's nothing wrong with them. It's just that there's been so many things happening in wrestling.
It's a you thing. It's not me. It's you. Is it? Oh no, it's not you. It's me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Situation.
I mean, usually it's them, but really it's me this week. Like I really forgot, and of course I think. We are still basking in like some post SummerSlam and then like Bash at Berlin. Things are happening really fast at WWE. I think once OTC came back, bro, like everyone also like forget what the hell is happening everywhere else. Everyone just focusing on this dumbass solo sequel and you heard that meme? They say the Ula Fala and the bracelet is the two most over things in WWE right
Bro,
now.
we said it a few weeks ago, remember? Somehow they've made a necklace and a bracelet more over than every single one of their belts over at AEW.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But I think it also is a testament to how sometimes if you do great storytelling and then you put a lot of value in certain things, you can create storylines out of people. How easy is that?
Yeah, and okay, I guess since we are jumping into it, let's jump into it, right? And we'll very quickly go through what exactly caught your eye on Raw and SmackDown before we get to AEW. To me, the one big thing that popped out, of course, it had to be the tribal chief, the original tribal chief himself, right? And like, forget about everything that, you know, if you just look at it objectively, if you just read a written review, right? Oh, OTC came out, he beat up some people, but then the bloodline got the better of him. Technically, on paper, it doesn't seem like much, right?
Yeah.
But my God, when I watched it, like the reaction, and you know that Roman was milking the piss out of it. The reaction he got when he finally laid his hands on the Ula Fala, and he slowly, do you see he slowly like, put on it, like, oh, like Thanos putting on the Infinity Gauntlet slowly, oh, you know, when he slowly, the crowd went ape shit.
Bro, he gonna come already, bro, when he wore, yeah, bro.
But you see, this is a testament of storytelling. Not a swerve, no pun intended, but not like a random, like, shocking moment. It's like they built it up to a point where it's like, really, it's like blue balls, finally. And then it gets taken away, right? Like, to me, right, it's really just that whole idea of, I know, like, oh, you guys are comparing again. Yeah, because at the end of the day, everybody is trying to get that attention. And right now, why is all the attention on the WWE? Because they can tell great, compelling story. And the difference is so vast right now. I tried. I watched Dynamite last night just to, you know, get ready for All In, right? The difference is night and day. The aura, as the kids say, the aura is on another level with the WWE right now.
No, you gotta be fair as well. Like Triple H era, right? I think what they've done well is really built up back the aura of a main eventer.
Yes.
I think for too long, remember when we were trying to shoehorn Roman Reigns as a top babyface? He had no aura, bro. He hasn't earned it, bro.
Yes.
So I would say, right, you know, if you're Booker 101, like, you need to make that potential babyface that you're trying to push into that main event go through that whole villain arc, bro. I think once you get through that, once you pass through that villain arc, make it on the other side, become the redemption story, then
Ah,
I think it's fully deserved because the fans and the audience also like know that okay, we have struggled with him, we have seen
yeah.
how much he deserves. And one thing I want to say about that particular segment, right,
Mm,
is I think the reaction was so great for him wearing that Ulafala
yeah.
because people were expecting somebody to interfere right before he wore it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
when he wore it, they were like, "Hey, shit, he got it back."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
But I think that was the perfect just to delay a
yeah.
bit that
Just
gratification.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just give you a little bit of a, a release, but then no, fam. And the way they've set it up also has been brilliant. If you think about it, right? Jacob Fatu has not once made himself look bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember the whole thing where he jumped off the top turnbuckle onto the table and
Correct.
then he injured himself?
Yes.
Remember? So he eliminated himself so he didn't have to be taken care of by Roman. And
Mm.
now that I look back, I'm like, oh my god, this is like brilliant booking, right? In that at no time has Roman made Jacob Fatu look bad, and right now the whole idea with the end of SmackDown is that Jacob Fatu beats down Roman Reigns, and you see Roman Reigns selling like going to die like that, and then freaking
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu comes out with the boot, the ankle protector.
Correct. Correct.
He was just running around with the boot on. I'm like, what the hell, bro?
Bro, it's not as it's like some people say, hey, why you never sell your injury? But I would dare say, right,
Mm.
he made his injury look the injury made him look even more badass because
Yes.
he can do all those things.
Yeah, it's like nothing to him, you know what I mean? It's like a bit of pain, whatever. So that's how they're selling him. That's how they're pushing him. This
I
is
love it.
crazy werewolf, right?
Yeah.
So, the booking so far, well, other than, let's not
your
bring up Tama Tonga and our favorite man, Tongaloa lah, you know?
Tangaloa is still the best. No, no. One other thing as well is like I saw you when you put it on Discord. I was thinking to myself like, bro got super kick with an
Mm.
ankle protector. If you think about it, right,
Yeah.
it hurts like shit, bro, for the guy
Bro.
taking it, right?
Technically, it's a foreign object, bro. It's a big plastic cast.
Yeah, yeah. You know like how last time Undertaker kena the cast by
Oh,
Brock Lesnar.
yeah,
And then everyone
yeah.
thought like, okay lah, he poor guy paid. But then that cast became a weapon to
Yeah,
beat
yeah,
his ass
yeah.
with.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. It's very old school. Very, very old
Yeah.
school wrestling angle, bro.
Okay, to be fair, the rest of SmackDown was a little bit like, I know they're still trying to do the whole thing with the Jade and Bianca, and now Naomi is part of that group,
Yeah.
versus the UK girls.
Oh, that Blair Davenport. Can we roll back to like the
Sure.
start of SmackDown because I
Sure.
actually tried to watch it live, and okay, people say we don't criticize WWE, right?
Okay.
But I gotta say that opening segment was shit lah.
Wait, remind me, what was the opening segment? See, this is the problem, I'll tell you, with SmackDown right now, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
rely very heavily on Roman Reigns to a point where everything, it's like, you know what it is? It's boxing. If you ever watch boxing, right? The whole card is sold on the main event. Like, nobody knows who is in the mid card or in the opening match one, for boxing. It's only the main event.
But that draws,
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
people. So you're relying on Roman to create their interest, and then all this like weird shit that happens, like we will stick through it lah, or we'll
Yeah,
put up
yeah.
with it so that we go back to the main event. But the opening segment was Tiffany Stratton
Oh, yeah.
doing some celebration for Nia Jax. Okay, I'll tell you what I like first. Okay,
Yeah.
like I actually liking Nia Jax's aura right now with her with the crown, her
Yeah.
as the queen of the ring, and then there's somebody put in the comment. I fucking laugh. She stole that crown from Sauron, is it? From Lord of the Rings.
It does look, have a medieval evil queen
Yeah.
vibe, right?
Yeah.
You know what is crazy? I was kind of thinking to myself, actually, Nia Jax like showed quite a bit of personality here.
Yeah. So the best thing about this segment was actually Nia Jax. So like those people, naysayers, aka our favorite
Edison,
guy,
hello.
Edison. What's up, brother? How we hated when she returned so bad that he wanted to switch off the Royal Rumble. That was the first time. But then she also came back. And remember, she destroyed Rhea Ripley. And everyone said, "Alamak, she's gonna injure Rhea Ripley, right?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it back. I think since she has won the title, since she has re-established herself, she's been great. I might even say I'm liking the music even better. It's actually kind of
Oh.
growing on me. Not like most. It's not. That's the old one, right?
Yeah. No, but that line is still in there, lah. I will say,
yeah.
I feel like she's booked better.
Yes, that's the word. She's booked better. I think she's treated better. I think Triple H knows what her strength is. Because, right, you need one destroyer in the women's roster, right? That has that like, it creates this extra like diversity there. not just diversity for sake of diversity, but I really think like you have a destroyer, right? You can build so many potential stories around it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What I didn't like is, and this is weird to say because I love Tiffany Stratton in the ring.
Mm.
I've seen her work, in person.
Yep.
But here, I do not know what is it about the dialogue they gave her or like, having her start the show.
Yep.
But her personality is not strong enough to carry her acting.
Okay, I will agree with you 100%. As
Mm-hmm.
much as I enjoyed Pretty Deadly in NXT, I'm sure they were great in NXT UK. They came off very cringe. Like it was like
Yeah.
this is the sort of stuff we used to cringe about in the Vince
Yes.
era. And somehow a little bit, and maybe, Trips, Papa H is like, okay, like let them, give them something, let's see what they can do with it. And oh yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Tiffany Stratton was very like annoying almost, even though the crowd wanted to cheer her because there's still
Yep.
that Tiffy time thing, right? Okay, I do see where they're going in that they're setting the planting the seeds, right? Like Nia was a bit of a meanie to everybody there. It's like, bow to me, you also bow to me. And then Tiffany was so they've sort of planted it there, but then, it didn't quite happen.
Yeah, yeah. And another thing is like, that musical segment was really reminded me of a Vince Bruce
Yeah.
Pritchard era.
Yeah. It
Very
was
cringe. Yeah. But the on the upside, I like the idea of Pretty Deadly being like the so-called the jesters for Queen Naya. You know what I mean? I think it's a
sure.
nice presentation, and then having like Tiffany kind of being the hype woman. That whole thing works, right? But my second question is, why is it Maya Yim saving the day?
Oh,
Why is it Michin saving the
Michin.
day?
Yeah, I think they needed something to do. They needed to give her a match. Michin
Yeah.
is one of those one of those talents that they sort of bounce in between NXT and SmackDown, and she's now become like a Natalia. Once in a while we'll show
Yeah.
up. I'll get in your
Utility girl.
face. Yeah, like okay, we need you to do a side quest, have an opponent. Okay, you have a match. Like you know,
Yeah.
like she's become that sort of a player within that ecosystem.
It's not that I don't like her there. I mean, I love her being on my screen. Damn,
Yeah.
girl, what a body. Yeah, anyway,
Woo.
but the thing is, right, where's Bailey, bro? Where
Oh,
my girl Bailey at? Like, they just completely ignored her. She's the one that lost the title. Why wasn't she the one with the kendo stick trying to get revenge? You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And there's that. And like I said earlier, they're trying very hard to do something with the three UK girls.
Yep.
Blair Davenport is not
Fire
it.
and ice? Fire and ice?
Whatever lah. The witches. I don't know what they are supposed to be, but
Okay.
they are not it, as the kids say. Like I don't know. I tried to watch that Blair Davenport match. I was like, oh wow, this is some like. Did she get called up too early?
I think so too. I mean, she never really established herself. I wish she had an NXT Women's title run.
Yeah.
At least push her a bit, bring up to the Roxanne level. My favorite part about those three girls is Isla Dawn.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
damn she's hot as well. But
bro, it's a Sunday morning, bro. What is up with all the hot?
I'm trying to get some heat in my body, just to
hype
make
yourself
myself
up, huh?
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Then there's the Cody and Kevin Owens stuff. Like, okay, so they've obviously put most of the attention on the bloodline, right?
Yeah.
Because right now Cody seems like he's taking a back seat, but it's very interesting to me because like while he's doing it, he's got like his own on the bus podcast, which I actually just started watching, and I'm like, bro. I mean, did you watch the one he had with R-Truth?
I watched the R-Truth one and the Randy one. Yeah.
Right.
But I haven't watched the others.
I knew you would watch the Randy one, by the way. But the R-Truth one, he has this sort of a mock rivalry with R-Truth, and I'm like.
No.
The whole time through, I'm like, oh my god, he would be so good as a heel. The Homelander comparisons are legit. Like,
okay.
Like, one day, if he does decide to turn heel, I think it would be so epic.
Would it be interesting if the roles were reversed and Cody is the mega uber heel and Roman is the good guy?
I think it would. I think, maybe in a year, not now lah, obviously, right? In a couple of years, I think we would all be ready to see that. Then you see like the two different arcs. One became villain, one became, it's like,
Very interestingly, you say this, right? Because, one of the best rivalries of the Attitude Era, right? Stone Cold Triple H.
Oh yeah.
Technically, each WrestleMania, they switched sides. If you
Yeah,
think about it, right?
yeah.
Right, because first WrestleMania 15, Stone Cold is the Omega babyface on the rise, and The Rock was the corporate heel
Ah,
champion, right?
yes, yes.
And then when you go to WrestleMania 17, both of them were babyface, but of course that infamous heel turn by Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, yes.
And then the last one, Stone Cold revert back to the mega babyface, and The
Yeah.
Rock was like this Hollywood. So
Mm.
I like the idea of if they were ever going to have like a WrestleMania level rematch,
Mm.
it should be as completely different characters.
Well, yeah, to freshen up the story, right? Because we actually literally had like a 2-year build for one thing already.
Yeah.
So, okay, anything else stand out to you on SmackDown? We'll backtrack a bit and hit
Yeah.
Raw in a few
But
seconds.
so one thing I wanted to say, because on that note about heel turns, right? Do you think this match would be so much better if Kevin Owens were to turn heel before this and then establish that dynamic as a heel babyface? Or do you want it to be a pure babyface versus babyface, like you are my friend, we're gonna fight kind of vibe?
Okay, you know what? There's a part of me that is saying they should just keep Kevin Owens babyface because he's turned too many times already. I don't want him to be that like big show type of fella who's just like back and forth, back and forth. But I
Okay.
also agree, and this was discussed in our Discord, that they do have a babyface problem. There are too many people who are over as babyfaces.
Yeah.
But it's a good problem to have, mind you. It's a good problem to have. WWE Triple H has made it to a point where like they have multiple main event contenders, which is great for business. Their business.
I agree. I would even argue, right, you don't need to have too many heels because remember in the Attitude Era, remember that 6-man Armageddon Hell in a Cell match?
Yeah. The one with Rikishi falling off the cage, that one.
Correct. Like, to me, the biggest heel, I mean, they were trying to push Rikishi as the heel, but he wasn't on that level.
Yeah.
But the biggest heel in that match to me was Kurt Angle. That sniveling, wheezing heel. So I feel like this is an opportunity for WWE to either bring up some of the talents who are like kind of almost there to be the main event heel. Like maybe Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, but also maybe turn some of the people who are getting stale as a face to be a heel. Okay, I wouldn't say KO is there yet, but I think it will be interesting. But of course, everyone, the top candidate to turn heel should be Randy Orton.
No, but he's busy over there on Raw with Gunther.
Yeah, for now. I think really, to me, it's a side quest. Somebody else I feel should, if Triple H still likes him or still believes in him, should be elevated as a mega heel. I think Austin Theory needs to really be that mega heel to just bring him up to the level and also help him work with all these top level stars.
Yeah. Okay. Just very quickly on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, right? As much as it's very weird because, like I've said this before, I wish they could be the same person. Every time I see them, I get less impressed with Austin Theory. Like in the ring, he's great, but on the mic as a personality, he's just sort of there. He's really the Blue Trunks Orton at this point.
Yes, he needs that story. I don't know, man. I think they need to bring him back as a chosen one, but chosen by somebody.
Well, where are they going with this whole, like, they are running this thing where Grayson keeps getting him into trouble, right?
All right, and it's been long running. It's almost like half a year already.
So my question is, when are you going to pull the trigger on that? There's a turn. So this is one of like WWE's like question mark booking. Like it's like, okay, what's going on there? So people always say we don't criticize, right? Come. The Bianca Jade group, what's going on there? Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, what's going on there? The 3 UK women, pretty deadly, what's going on there? Those need a lot of work, and let Papa H cook lah, as they say.
Yeah, and I would even put LA Knight post Logan Paul in that list as well, because like another thing about the LA Knight as a US champion looks great. Perfect. That title belt fits him like a glove. He comes out, still has very strong reactions. But bro, his contenders is now Santos Escobar.
It's okay. Here's the thing. I believe that Santos Escobar can be elevated because, I really enjoyed his work in NXT with his faction, right? So I believe that LA Knight will be the guy to sort of like bring him into prominence.
Yeah. But all those people that you mentioned, right? The men, right? I feel like Theory, Waller, all should be in that title picture with LA Knight. I think that will be the story that helps bring Theory back to relevance, because he was in the US title picture for a bit before he slipped out. So yeah, I would say SmackDown has a depth problem right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Raw is so much. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Some years SmackDown
swing.
is better. Somehow Raw being 3 hours is more watchable than SmackDown to me. I think SmackDown right now relies very heavily on the bloodline. Raw has like stories we can all follow on every single level, and a lot of it also probably has to do with them going to Netflix lah.
Yeah, I think they're trying to plump up Raw so that it can be a huge hit on Netflix. I can see it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know how like Cody is suddenly becoming like a B storyline on
Yeah.
SmackDown.
But that's
I
fine,
don't.
right?
Yeah, but I don't get that problem on Raw. I do feel like Gunther is they're trying to build Raw around Gunther. I can tell. Like
Yeah.
the centerpiece is there. While they still have, I would say they don't have B storylines. They have like A1, A2, A3 story, in my opinion.
Yes. No, I agree with you 100%. And to me, the biggest, not miracle, but why did we expect any less? Because he's the best in the world at what he does. Talking about CM Punk and Drew, and just thinking back on this feud where dude was injured and carried on. It's like this whole Stone Cold thing. Remember when Stone Cold was injured, but he somehow still got over even bigger than ever? That's exactly what happened with Drew and CM Punk. And then you compare his run in AEW when CM Punk was injured. And when he was injured, what did he do? Absolutely pissed off. Yeah. So it's like, wow, it's really a case of, and here we go into the comparisons, but you look at the mindset of both companies. Is there any question why one is doing so well with record business and the other one is struggling?
You're right, because like Stone Cold, right, when he was injured, right, he got injured in a very it was a very bad timing because he was on the rise.
Yep.
But the smartest thing that WWE did was keep him on television despite him being injured.
Yeah.
Remember,
and not having do physical roles.
Yeah, they did that whole angle where if he needs to become corporate, or if not he has to retire, or like he has to get fired. And then Vince McMahon asked him to apologize, but he said fuck you, and then he made him pee. Like
they told stories. They just made this character larger than life. And that's exactly what they did. No, kind of what they did with CM Punk lah, But of course, let's not forget Drew had a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah. And of course, the smart thing because last week they had Seth Rollins get murdered by freaking Bronson Reed, right?
Yeah.
So you remove Seth temporarily from the equation, but you can revisit it back down the road nearer to WrestleMania season. That's fine.
Yes.
Then they can now fully focus on Drew and CM Punk because they haven't had a one-on-one match with no other interferences, right?
Correct.
And is it me or it seems like they are building towards some sort of strap match style?
Yeah lah. I mean, CM Punk has become quite known for strap matches, right? Like, wasn't that the whole thing he did with MJF at AEW?
Yeah, it was a dog collar match.
Dog collar match, yeah.
I would say, same style.
Yeah. As much as we wanted Hell in a Cell, it does make sense that, given his age and limited physical abilities, a strap match makes more sense.
I still think it can happen. If you think about it, strap match at Bash at Berlin, and then one final blow off at Hell in a Cell.
Too much lah. No, he's not going to be at Bash at Berlin. I mean, he might be there, but he's not going to be there in the match lah.
Well, we do not know. It hasn't been announced. There's still some time to build. But my favorite part of that whole whipping segment that happened on Raw was, do you see the photo that Drew McIntyre posted?
The one where he had all the marks on his back, but his left arm was behind still with the bracelet.
Yeah. I love it when the comments pointed out and they were like, "Oh, bro, got whipped, but still got time to show off the bracelet."
He's the next level troller. Okay, let's very quickly pivot right now because we are a bit running short of time on this Sunday, right? Because we still have to review SPW's Hardcore Island 2, which happened this past weekend. But very quickly, we have to talk about AEW. Let's give you okay, we'll mention the match. Give me your hype level. Okay?
Okay, sure. Come, let's go.
Are you looking forward to this? Look, at the time of us recording this, I do believe they've sold something like 40... what was the number
I heard it was
45,000.
50,000.
But apparently they've structured the stadium to hold less people anyway, so that's their excuse. I mean, reasoning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
To drop from 70K last time. Oh, very quickly also, the big announcement that WWE is doing a live show on the same night as AEW's World's End.
They're just fucking with AEW at this point, lah.
Yeah.
But
And
apparently it's down the road, right? It's like
Ah.
right beside, like or
Yep.
near the same arena, right?
Yeah. Oh, imagine somebody runs a DX invasion angle. No lah, they won't lah. Would they? Ooh, I don't know.
I think it would probably more AEW doing it than WWE.
Yeah, it would benefit AEW more, right? WWE being the main guys, they would be like, okay, we do not mention them at all. So yeah, now you can tell. I mean, obviously they were fucking with them before, but now it's like,
Bro, imagine their live event, just a live event, right? Outdraws their pay-per-view. Oh, damn.
You know what, man? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want it to happen. Like, see, people keep thinking that we hate AEW. We want AEW to fail, right? But it's like, they don't need us to wish them to fail. They are failing on their own right now. You know? Once again, I tried to watch Dynamite. And the packages were there. The packages are not as well done. You know, like the standard is too high already.
I mean, the Bryan Danielson one was really good.
Okay, fine, but it's Bryan Danielson. But it's Bryan Danielson. You know what I mean? We have more of a see. Once again, it's connection to the crowd. Swerve has no aura anymore. Like they are making him heel again, right? And it's like, but like you know, they completely missed the boat with Swerve. Anyway, here we go. Timeless Toni Storm versus the Glamour Mariah May for the AEW Women's World Championship. By the way, there are a lot of matches, so let's try to truck through them.
I like this. I mean, the build since Mariah turned heel has been good. I do not know whether she's ready to become the champion yet. I think for the story to continue, I think Toni needs to have some sort of revenge case. So how I foresee this match happening is Toni gets to beat the shit out of Mariah May, but then somehow she survives and gets like the fluke victory.
Who survives?
Mariah May, and gets the fluke victory and then wins the title. And I think that will just enrage Toni Storm even more.
Mina Shirakawa lah.
If Mina Shirakawa somehow gets involved,
she was interviewed on Dynamite. And
yes. With very bad acting and trying to showcase that she's very sad and torn. Basically, she became she reversed roles with Mariah May because Mariah May was the person that they were fighting over last time. But might be some Mina Shirakawa interference. I do not know how that will come into play. But my money is on Mariah May getting the fluke victory after getting her ass handed to her by Toni Storm.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. MJF versus Will Ospreay. I think for a lot of us, this is the main event, right?
This is the match that I would say was built up the best, my opinion. Only because the personalities at play, right?
Yes. It's like a solid case of just talent saying, okay, we know this shithole is not going to book us right. Let's just book ourselves. And with everything MJF has been doing, you know, doing the whole American title thing, going into London, you can tell it's like classic heel shit.
Yeah. Do you see the part where he tweeted to JBL, like, say, I learned from this great American hero, and then like both of them giving each other props. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I see this as a young John Cena and Randy Orton, like at their first SummerSlam together, kind of thing. You know, if they book each other well, or they keep their mystique, or somehow throughout the years, right, they can be really the cornerstones of AEW in the midterm. They can be the Austin and Rock for the next couple of years. But it's very important how this first match goes. To me, if MJF drops the title back to Will Ospreay wins back the American/International Championship and converts it back, I'm fine with that. But only if that means MJF, you know, kind of goes back to the main event scene. Yeah, because I really want him to go back to the main event scene and make him the centerpiece again.
For the World Heavyweight Championship. No, I agree with you 100%. In fact, I am 100% sure Will Ospreay will come out the victor here because A, he's in his hometown, and B, I know they're doing this whole thing with the Tiger Driver. I still think it's kind of like roll eye because of the whole like, oh, you know, but they're setting up a moment where he finally busts out the Tiger Driver.
Yeah, and then destroys MJF, and then MJF can sell the injury and then come back with like fucking neck broken strap, and then can become full Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, no, exactly, right? So it's kind of like one of those cases of, that's predictable, but predictable in a good way. Honestly, okay, never mind. Let's keep this positive. Okay, come. It will be a great match because we have two very great talents going at it.
Yeah, if nothing else, there's that. And my money is on Will Ospreay. Let's go.
Yeah, no, same. This is the hometown crowd, right? Jack Perry versus Darby Allin. It's a coffin match. Of course, it's a coffin match.
I saw the vignette on Dynamite. Not the one where Jack Perry halfway kena cut off for a commercial.
Taco Bell, bro.
I love Taco Bell. No, it's the one where he basically attacked Darby Allin backstage and then asked for a coffee match. I don't hate it. I know it's just another stipulation, but I think Darby Allin has really become synonymous with that match, and his matches. His match is really like I do enjoy it. It's violent. It's good. I remember the one we had with Ethan Page, and I think he did a coffin match last year as well with Swerve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I don't hate the idea of him doing a coffin match. My only issue with this is, do you think they're gonna do a Cry Me a River break glass segment just for the lols of it?
Yes, I do believe there will be a break glass segment because they just can't help themselves. But beyond, you know what? Actually, no, I hope not, because I want them to just move on from it because nobody cares anymore. Only the most diehard of diehards will give a shit about that whole break glass situation at this point, right? I really enjoyed Darby Allin's promo against Jack Perry. Like he brought up a lot of like quote unquote real life sentiments that we have about Jack Perry lah. And they like that Darby will go and like throw himself off shit. It's gonna be a brutal match. He's really like the Jeff Hardy. He really does give Jeff Hardy vibes in the same way where I think that there's a ceiling for him also.
Yeah.
Like he will never be the poster boy, the guy holding the main title. He might get a main title run at some point, but he's never gonna be the Triple H or the Rock or the Austin's level of champion.
He will have a cup of coffee with the title. I think that's pretty fair to say. But my question is, do they need to keep the title on Jack Perry to keep this whole elite thing going? Or like, fuck it, just end it, let Darby get the title, let Jack Perry slide down back the card? I don't know.
See, here's the thing. I don't care. Like, I literally don't care about Jack Perry, right? It's not, I hate him so much, I want him to lose the title. It's I don't care. He has no aura.
I mean, that photo you drew, McIntyre, I think destroyed whatever is left of that aura.
Okay, let's move on to Mercedes Moné with Camille versus Dr. Britt Baker. So I saw the match on Dynamite, Shida versus Moné. Not a bad match, right? I believe Bubba Ray brought this up, or somebody brought it up with the way they've booked Camille, right? Why is Shida backing up Camille? Camille should be the China, should be the bodyguard figure where just stands there and you can't back her up. Because I don't know if you noticed, there were moments where Hikaru Shida is like stepping up to Camille and Camille's like backing up. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, she gotta like stay like badass, like stare her down.
Because she is she's a brick house, right? That's the whole point. That she's like this menacing figure. So already to me, they're kind of dropping the ball on this whole. Like Moné, Camille is obviously like a Diesel, Shawn Michaels, China Triple H sort of a vibe.
Yeah, bro. Every time I see Camille in AEW, my head goes to like, oh, imagine she's in NXT right now, being built up really, really well. Yeah. Man, she could have been a beast. But anyway, but with the match itself, the potential of Moné and Britt Baker, this is actually one of the matches I really want to see. I like Britt Baker. I've always liked her from the start, and she just came back like like fucking fit now. Became way hotter. I think too hot for Adam Cole already. I think Adam Cole.
Stop it, bro. Stop it.
But I think even the controversy of her having that backstage suspension with MJF, I think has added a bit to that. She don't give a fuck. She's a bad bitch vibe. I don't know. I like it. I like her being an ass as well backstage and having all these issues. Because we need somebody with an ego for the women's division, bigger than Mercedes Moné.
That said, I think Moné should actually retain here, thanks to Camille. I think Camille should get in the way.
I think Moné is still very early in the AEW run. I think, they have committed too much money on her. They need to make her the biggest star.
Exactly. And never give Moné the microphone ever again. All right, let's move on. There's a Casino Gauntlet match with Orange Cassidy in it. I don't care. Let's move on.
Wait. The stipulation apparently says that the winner of this match gets a future AEW World Title shot. So there must be somebody that's worth rooting for in that match. I don't know.
Orange Cassidy lah. Like everybody else is involved in the match.
Is he the only announced person?
Yes, that's the thing. That he's still on this Sunday morning, he is the only announced fella in it. So who knows? But they've done this so often. See, once again, this is conditioning, right? All television and, live event watching is conditioning. They've conditioned us to know that they do this every single time. And it's going to be some random dude who's going to have an excuse. This is their excuse for having that match on Dynamite. That's it. And the champion will still be the champion. You know what I mean? This thing usually has no stakes.
Bro, watch Orange Cassidy win this match and get a world title shot. You watch.
Okay, sure. Even if he does, he will not win. Unless really Tony Khan is like, friggin', let's do it. I don't care. Swerve, bro. I'll do it for the swerve.
I love it. No. Blue balls him. But I don't care about this match. But if they bring someone back or somebody comes back from his injury, that'll be interesting. But whatever.
Oh, didn't friggin' Park have a promo and he basically on Dynamite talked about how, in 2 weeks, I'm going to face the winner of the international championship winner. I'm like, oh my God. Look, we all love Park. We think he's talented, but he's, from storytelling perspective, why is he even there?
Bro, he's like the Neymar of AEW. Okay, I will explain this to you. You know who Neymar is, right?
Yeah, the footballer.
Yeah, he's famous. Everyone knows him. He's damn good and all that. He's injured 90% of the time.
I don't think it's because of injury that Park isn't there, though. It's his dates, right? His contract is so flexible because, Tony Khan loves everybody, right? Lets everybody do whatever they want. So nobody can tell a long-term story because they're never there.
Speaking of which, do you know about the whole drama about apparently Young Bucks is not being used because they use up all of their dates and then Tony Khan refuses to pay them more to appear even over the amount that he's already paying them.
Yeah,
about
because,
that story?
I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to pay because he's actually being financially prudent or he's in so deep of a situation where he's like, okay, shit, even though I love you guys, I cannot spend any more money. I think it's option B, but hey, that's just speculation. If you have that sort of a contract with your talent, then you should have booked them better and use their dates better. You don't see WWE have this problem with a Brock Lesnar or a Cena.
Yeah, how do you use up all your dates by August, bro? What the hell?
And hey, aren't the Bucks EVPs, don't they have a stake in the company? Shouldn't they say, actually, you know what? We'll come in, you just pay us regular rate or something. You know what I mean?
At this point, make Bryan Danielson the EVP. I think he cares more about AEWs here.
Exactly right. All right, Chris Jericho versus Hook. Oh my God. Last chance match for the FTW Championship. If Hook loses, he can never challenge for the FTW Championship.
Hey, they are still fighting. They're still feuding. How long already?
Okay.
I don't know.
Give a fuck level 0.
0.
All right, let's move on. Young Bucks versus FTR or the Acclaimed.
Wait, what? They are having another match with FTR?
Didn't the Young Bucks beat the Acclaimed on Dynamite?
Yes, but also the fact that FTR and Young Bucks had a match 1 year ago at the first All In, and then it was really cold. Remember?
Yeah. Now, bro, look at you, thumbs up, even Zoom thumbs up. Look, we've said this ad nauseum. The Young Bucks are as cold as can be right now. Even though they have the whole evil EVP gimmicks, they are as cold as can be. I don't even know why this match is here. So let's move on.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Hey, does everybody's favorite bitch not have a match? Okada doesn't have a match.
Okada,
Didn't he promo against Cesaro on Dynamite?
Well, there's still one more week of TV. So they could last minute shove him in, but whatever.
God. All right. Wait. Oh my God. Okay, we'll get back to this because this, I just saw this. I was like, what is going on here? But Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang versus the House of Black versus TBD. Oh, God. This is a 4-way London ladder match for the AEW World Trios Championship. Low stakes. Okay. Nobody gives a crap. So they're like, what has the House of Black been doing?
Okay, wait. They have been doing stuff on Collision, to be fair, because I still watch Collision a bit. Patriarchy is just trying to build up the trios division lah. And Buddy Murphy got injured for a bit, came back, and now they are fully in full strength and they're going back for the trios title. So that's the gist of it.
Yeah, no. Before we go to the main event, right? I very quickly want to mention that the pre-show has a mixed tag match. Okay,
Okay.
it immediately caught my eye because I was like, huh? Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway, right? You know they are the thing. They are heels, right? Together versus Willow Nightingale. So I like Chris and Willow actually, having a feud.
Yep.
You know who is Willow's mixed tag team partner?
No.
And also, Stokely Hathaway is a participant in the match, huh?
Okay, got you.
On the other side is Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh my gosh.
For fuck! What is this?
Oh well, okay. So is totally gonna die or what? What's gonna happen?
I guess, but why? What
Okay.
does he? I'm sure we missed some skit that explains the connection.
Yeah,
Right?
clearly we didn't watch enough AEW TV
But
to understand
still,
how this happened.
Like on the face of it, you see this on a poster, you're like, huh? Why?
Bro, just make it Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale are happy already.
Okay. They will be having a match at All Out, which is actually to me the more exciting match I want to watch because they've actually they have a legit story built through
Monet and the
months.
TBS championship. Yeah.
Okay, this might be a hot take, but I'm actually more invested in that match than the other two women's match. Only because I actually like that. I like them as workers more. As in Chris and Willow, not the Stokely and the Ishii part. I don't give a crap about that.
Chris and Willow all are actually solid workers. I've always enjoyed a Willow Nightingale match. Great babyface fire. She's solid in the ring. She's great. Chris Statlander in this iteration of her is good. Like no alien nonsense. Just her being a badass. Like she's big size as well. She actually to me she's the same size as Camille in a way.
Yeah.
So
this could have been their women's title match. Had it not been for the multi-million-dollar signings, had it not been for, Monet coming in and taking all the shine, Britt Baker coming back. So I actually do feel a bit poor thing for Statlander and Nightingale.
I dare Tony Khan, right?
You dare?
Yes. Can you, at the end of the year, do an accounts, go look through your finances, and then go look at your roster, see who's wasting your money, and just let them go. You don't need, like, all
bro,
this overpaid.
He could cull half of his roster.
Yeah, and it will still be a strong roster,
Yes.
Let go of the big... Because, right, I feel like if you keep paying them so much, and then they're not doing shit, and then, like, it sets a precedent, right? WWE is not gonna pay for these talents. They're like, they already, like, shit at AEW, or they're not drawing, right? Yeah. So the fact that the only one that is a fool is Tony Khan because he's gonna keep paying people who are not actually making an impact in his business.
Well, I mean, what have we been saying for years? Okay, main event: Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson, title versus career. Okay, obviously they're gonna put the title on Bryan Danielson, right?
Yeah.
Because at this point, he still says he has a couple more matches to go. He's not gonna quote unquote end his career then.
I don't want Bryan Danielson to retire.
Yeah. I don't see. That's why I don't understand the stipulation because didn't he say he has still a few more matches in him or something like that? Like he still has gas in the tank. So obviously he can't lose here.
I think he said that no matter what, he's gonna stop his in-ring career in 2025.
Okay.
So it's almost as if like, okay, even if he wins the title, he's gonna have a few months with it. So like, okay.
Are they going to do a Sting thing where he wins the title, then he give up?
Vacate it.
Wow. Okay. And to throw the last piece of dirt on the burial ground of Swerve Strickland. Poor Swerve.
Okay, I'm looking at it from another perspective. I'm looking at it as for AEW's legacy with the world title, they need to have Bryan Danielson on that belt history. Like, okay, this belt has been worn by Bryan Danielson. I want it for AEW's sake.
Yeah.
But it's just that like the way they are trying to milk it is like it's almost as if they also want to put over Swerve Strickland as bad as he's doing right now, but they still want to put him over. So honestly, maybe it's a credit to them. I really can't tell who's going to be the winner for this match.
Okay, I tell you who will be the winner. It depends on where they put this on the card. It's as simple as that. If this is the final match, then Bryan Danielson has to win. If this is not the final match, if they in fact go with the international title as the main event, then, okay, so Strickland will retain.
But I would argue that even if he's at the final match, right, and Bryan Danielson loses, it will be like a great like emotional farewell as well.
Sure. But the way Swerve has been recently, like he's okay, fine. I get what you mean. I do get what you mean. Emotional farewell. They can hug. Like Swerve, even though he's showing heel tendencies, will be all like, oh yeah, we.
He walk away. He gives the
Yeah.
ring to Brian. Brian can say wave goodbye, Shawn Michaels style. I don't know. That's the thing. I really can't tell. Even if the match is being placed lah. So
I just feel like it's a bit of a shame that Bryan Danielson gets to wrap up his career not in the WWE. But then again, maybe it is fitting because he was always the indie darling anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense for you to come back. Like how you remember the Hardy Boys announced that they want to end their career in WWE because they've always been WWE made guys. I think Bryan Danielson in his heart was always an indie guy / Ring of Honor guy. So yeah, it's okay to end at this stage. And I think he's done everything in WWE.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. He needs to appear as a Hall of Famer there already.
Yeah.
So
there you go. That's All In. I won't watch it live. I'll probably watch it after the fact, just 2 matches at a time because there's no way I'm sitting there for 4 hours straight watching this stuff, right? But of course, before we get to other stuff, some food right now. And if you're feeling a little bit hungry like us as well, if you're in the mood for some Malay cuisine, Indonesian cuisine, of course, we got to talk about our lovely sponsors, Lemaq.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's Sunday morning. I'm hungry. We haven't eaten. We're still doing the podcast. Well, when this episode goes out, it's a Tuesday. It's lunchtime. You're going to still be hungry. We haven't eaten. So, bro, what are you waiting for, bro? Go order some lemak. Enjoy their delicious food. Not only their Indonesian and Malaysian cuisines. They have great desserts. My favorite jongkong. They have cappuccinos and fraps. They have beanies coffee. They have so many diverse options, bro. I mean,
absolutely. You can check out all their content on social media as well if you want to find out where they are. The links are right here. Lemaq on Instagram. That's LEMAQ.LEMAQ. Drop them a follow as well. And if you go makan there, tell them that the kick to the butt, kick to the gut boys sent you. Easy for me to say. See, all this good food is making me drool. My mouth full of saliva now.
I understand, bro. I'm also damn hungry, but we're gonna power through. And I want to give a shout out to as well to Lemaq, not only for powering us with food, but also powering us with this podcast and helping us make season 7 a really, really great run. So thank you so much, guys. Please show your support to them, follow them at least, and tell them your boys sent you.
That's right. Of course, you can check them out at Arab Street. They have an outlet at Bedok North as well. Like I said, all the information on their social media page, lemaq.lemaq on Instagram. Also on their main website, lemaq.com.sg. I believe you can go there and if you need have a corporate event and new caterers, they can hook you up as well.
Yeah, let's go.
Also, we want to shout out to our other sponsors, SPW, Singapore Pro Wrestling. And bro, we're going to jump into the review of Hardcore Island 2, which you were at. Unfortunately, I couldn't be at. I had other commitments already. But bro, I am excited to find out what went down. Of course, if you haven't already, drop SPW a follow on Instagram also, SG Pro Wrestling. Okay, we previewed it last week. We got GM Carl Heller down there. We gave away tickets as well. Talk to me, bro. What went down at Hardcore Island?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you are a listener of the podcast and you're a fan and you love SPW, bro, the fact that they are sponsors, you might even win tickets, and that's what we did. So shout out to the 2 fans that we gave the tickets to. And of course, thank you so much, SPW, for inviting me to the show. I brought my girlfriend over and I kind of pitch it to her as a date night. She was like, hey, what to do this weekend? I'm like, I have something we can do this weekend. Do you want to go? But of course, must sayang her, make her have a good dinner, then bring her. Okay, so I would like to apologize in advance to CK Vin and Iman for missing half of your opening match.
Oh, right.
You gotta feed the girlfriend first, then she can come and enjoy a great night of wrestling. But okay, SPW Hardcore Island, I think we all were sold on the gimmick of it being a night full of hardcore action and extreme local wrestling, right? So the thing about this kind of like so-called gimmick matches and like you don't want to overdo it.
Okay.
So I think what SPW did really good was like they pace out the violence throughout the night.
Right.
Like not every match had like a weapon spot, or like some crazy ass shit. But when the crazy ass shit happened, holy hell, like chaos reigned, right?
Yeah.
But I think they did a great job pacing out the violence. So it built as opposed to just vomit out the violence all the way, you know.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was great. So, but again, like I mentioned, starting match was CK Vin versus Iman, and I think the stipulation was like the winner will get the number one contendership to that chair slash belt.
Is it?
Is that money in the bank thing that they're
I thought it
kind
was
of
just a chairs
pushing
match because CK Vin has that chair in the bank
contract?
contract already.
Yeah. No. So
This was up.
he put that number one contendership
Oh
on the
my
line.
god! Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Iman did come in with this huge opportunity, right? And I would say it was a brutal match. This CK Vin used this chair a lot to get to get advantage.
Yeah.
The funny thing about Iman is like Iman has this great personality when he comes to the ring. But the moment he takes out his jacket and he's just wrestling in the black tights, right? He feels very plain. Like he feels
Okay.
like a wrestler.
Wow. Hey,
yeah.
so at the Clash at the Club, right?
Yeah.
I felt like he showed a bit more of an edge, like a vicious edge. Did we see it here?
Yes, he did. When he fights, right, I feel like there's this valiant, like almost like a Spike Dudley kind of tenacity to him. It's just that I can't get past his like bland vision. And I think a lot of the audience kind of like didn't feel for him because there wasn't that presence. But if he was like really vicious as an underdog and he was like, he can kind of get it across the line. But I mean this is just more from my own observation. I feel like if his presentation needs probably a bit more work. But no notes for that for CK Vin, bro. CK Vin with his singlet and his freaking CB attitude, I think gets the crowd really, really riled up by him. He actually got the victory, right, bro, by using his patented chair to get the bridge choke tap out victory. So he did like a, like when you wrap the ankle and then you can kind of like lean over like almost like a gymnastic
STF
style, like a bridge style. He bridged like on his head, right? And then he take the chair, he wrap it around his head.
Yeah.
So that was his victory, and I think it was a valiant effort from Eman, but I mean CK Vin is on the rise, lah, bro. So I think the next thing for him is to challenge for that Singapore Championship and get the victory, like as you said, right, against
Black Arrow.
Our Black Arrow, yeah. So that will be a fun thing to look forward to. Good way to start the match, but again, the crowd wasn't as it almost felt like you had to warm up the crowd. It almost felt like a pre-show match than the actual banger match. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
Because the next match that I think set the tone was the meat slapping match, bro. The patented meat slapping match.
Okay, which meat slapping? There are a few meat slappers here.
Yes. It was Dharma versus Cantona, bro.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing about Cantona is I think this is his first really in-ring display for him, right? Yeah. I mean, he's been in matches, but he hasn't had like a standalone match. And he's coming up against freaking Destroyer Dharma, right? Who everyone in SPW knows and love. Very interestingly, Ricky Malek didn't interfere or actually even appeared during the match at all.
Oh, okay.
So I managed to speak to him after the show. I'm not gonna break his kayfabe and let you know what he told me. But the match itself really felt like an opportunity for Cantona to stand on his own. That's what I'm getting. And he had decent heel hit. I think they were doing a lot of like 50-50 shoulder barges, trying to like out muscle each other.
Yeah.
And then they brought it out of the ring, and that's when all the nonsense happened. I think they did a spot where, like I said, they plan out the violence well, right? Because at the first match there's chair action, but the second match, the only so-called violent thing that happened was they pull up the mats on the ground at ringside, and they did like a spot there. And of course that garnered a lot of heel hit, right, bro? You're taking a bump on the cement, right?
Yeah.
So like I was saying, like the funniest thing that happened was the crowd was chanting to Cantona, "You skip leg day."
Does he have skinnier legs than Dharma?
Yeah. I mean, okay, his legs was well accentuated by his skinny jeans, but keyword skinny. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
But the only thing I had issues was they started off the match with multiple spears to start off the match, which to me was, from a psychology point of view, like why you start a match with spears? Like,
right,
unless you are Goldberg and then you end the match in 10 seconds, lah. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather they do the really old school warrior Hogan where they start off with test of strength and then then they slowly build up with a headlock and then run
Yeah.
the ropes and then shoulder. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you think visually that will work a little bit better for them being two giant guys, right?
yeah. So like I like that. And even speaking of multiple Ultimate Warrior, right? Like Dharma did a choke slam and he ended the match with multiple splashes a la the Ultimate Warrior. So
Oh.
I would have loved if they kind of like paid how much more to that Warrior Hogan WrestleMania 6 kind of like layout of the match. It was a fast match lah. I think it was like maybe like less than 5 minutes. It ran not longer than 6. So I think it was
Oh.
it was decent because they didn't overdo the posturing lah.
Right.
It got
I
straight to
see.
the point. So post match, and I was missing this guy. Ricky Malik appeared to thunderous boos. They were chanting Harry Potter. You know, my girlfriend really enjoys when this Ricky Malik comes out because like the heat, bro,
Yeah.
is dirty dom level, bro.
Oh, wow.
So credit to this Ricky Malik. This guy, I think whatever he's doing is really pissing off a lot of people. To the point, bro. So he basically said that just because at the end of the match, then Cantona and Dharma actually almost teased like a handshake, like oh a good job, you prove yourself, blah blah. But then Ricky Malik was like, oh, you think you're buddy now, blah blah blah. That's not the case. And then Cantona did a low blow, and of
Yes.
course, Ricky Malik had to come in and have the last laugh with the encyclopedia, whack to the fella, whack Dharma on the head. I am waiting for that comeuppance if Ricky Malik, imagine Ricky Malik gets in the ring with Dharma.
And yeah, I can really picture the match. Half the time he's running away.
Yeah.
That
Speaking of
sort
running,
of thing. Yeah.
Speaking of running away, and after he delivered there, the crowd was really incensed by him. Actually, walked out around ringside to kind of parade. And I do not know, I can't tell, but some fella from the crowd just went up to him and fucking splashed his beer right at his face.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and then like things got really heated because Cantona was behind, right? And Cantona just fucking shoved the guy like crazy. And like I think injured him, and that guy kinda like escorted out by EMT. So it looked really real.
Okay.
I'm
so,
just saying that that really was a great spot to like not only garner some like boo like cheap heat, but like oh shit. Like someone was so pissed off, and the rest of the crowd was like, "Oh fuck, is that legit happening?" This crowd, because after that, I think our ring announcer said, "Okay, guys, please do not attack the SPW wrestlers, even though you hate them, blah blah blah." So that was very interesting way to kind of like put him over even to another level of heat lah. Yeah. Okay, powering through the rest of the card. So Jack and Cheese was up next against this Australian team called the Gym Bros.
The Gym Bros. I saw the conversation on Discord, by the way.
Have you seen the IG stories, bro?
Yes.
Shout out to one of the guy, Benji and Sunny. So Benji was the fella that looks like he comes across as a cross between what's his name? The Queen lead singer Freddie Mercury. Yeah, and half naked Magic Mike show. Because my girlfriend, when she saw you, she was like, too much ass.
Too much ass?
Bro, the fella left like you had no need to imagine, bro, how his package looked like, bro. Everyone and their mother could see it.
Oh my god.
It was that small.
No,
not that it was small. I was saying that
pour one out for my bro, poor bro.
The undies was that tight.
Okay. So what is their gimmick? Are they like a bit of a comedy act? Like
they're giving me comedy act, like basically they are like a parody of the 80s fitness boys with their colorful spanks and like weird headbands. So that was their thing. So I would almost dare say they actually out entertained Jack and Cheese in this match. The crowd was really loving him. I was sports entertained.
Yeah, but were they heels though?
Yes, they were heels. They were okay. Of course, the Jack and Cheese were like the hometown baby faces. Benji's ass was hanging out. Those was my exact notes that I wrote.
Benji's ass is hanging out.
Yeah, but I think overall, I think Jack and Cheese had great chemistry. I think they really need to get that run at the tag team titles, in my opinion. They finished off the match. Their finisher was a dive of I think CBK did a dive off of BGJ's shoulders into a splash. I think that was a great spot. Yeah, so very entertaining. Okay, so now this is the match that I really, really want to talk about, bro. loser gets cane match, bro.
Ooh, I saw the aftermath and poor referee Ryan. I want to know actually, like, so referee Ryan, obviously he's mostly a referee, right? How did he do in his match? Is this his first official match in SPW? Like, as
I
a wrestler?
I feel like he has done it before, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But
Okay.
this was really how to say like this was really his showcase match. Like I
Mm.
was talking to a lot of people. Uh they really thought that he was actually the biggest babyface of the night. Like he had
Oh,
the
wow.
most reactions.
I mean, we've known that he's quite the babyface, like quite a beloved referee for quite a long time already, lah. So I'm not even surprised in the least bit. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like okay, first of all, right, can I give a shout out to Bryson Blade, right?
Mm,
Bryson Blade, I think made referee Ryan that night. Like
mm.
his heel hit was amazing. He was freaking vicious.
Yep.
He really beat the shit out of referee Ryan, but referee Ryan also fought back. Like it's not as if like referee Ryan laid down and took a beating, bro.
Right, right.
It's not like freaking is it not Mike Chioda? Who's the other one? Earl, no, like Earl Hebner.
Earl
Earl
Hebner.
Hebner
Yep.
1 to 5 fight, I think get his ass beaten out. No, he looked okay. His outfit was really cool. Like he looked like a referee style Tajiri. His in-ring gear.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think Bryson Blade kind of was like that dickhead that was like taunting the crowd. So every time he was attacking him, he
Mm.
went and like postured to the crowd. It was all great. But my very interesting take away from this match is I feel like referee Ryan should wrestle more. Like
Okay.
he's decent in the ring.
Mm.
He moved fast. He was crisp and like smooth in his execution of moves. And I wish referee Ryan was wrestling more regularly so that I actually can grade him as part of our Singapore
Oh.
Wrestler Top 20 and actually he can qualify because I think you need 3 matches in the year.
Yeah. Wait, then
But
who refereed this match?
I think it was Sodic.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
yeah, so Sodic of course was our OG, right?
Hey, poor
But
Sodic, then if referee Ryan becomes a full-time wrestler, then Sodic have to do all the matches. Cannot.
no, no. So they actually are training another
Oh,
referee. There was this
okay.
Indian guy which I'm not familiar with who
Ah,
was
new
like
guy. Okay,
yeah
okay.
preliminary referee. But I don't mind if you want to push referee Ryan as like a proper wrestler. He actually can be a big part of the roster. I think, bro, he had legitimately the biggest babyface reaction because yes, even though he suffered a loss, very great finishing sequence though. He actually was going for a dive and
Mm.
Bryson Blade did an RKO out of nowhere, bro.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, so that was a great ending. So of course, I was saying like he got a bit of Spike Dudley energy to him.
Mm.
But yeah, the springboard into the RKO for the win, and then the crowd was shocked because the crowd was like, "Holy shit! Wow, he's gonna kena cane lah."
Yeah.
And then you know what happened? Bryson Blade's partner CK Vin came out,
Oh,
brought out a pair of handcuffs.
of course.
First of all, where you all get the handcuffs? So I thought illegal to own handcuffs in Singapore.
Those are gag one, joke ones.
I mean, I hope so lah. But
Either that or they
probably
got from the adult shop one.
no, probably from some Channel 8 drama, they just steal the prop,
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so they handcuff him to the ropes, and Rev Ryan being the badass that he was, he actually like, okay lah, go for it. They actually strip him,
Mm.
so he was shirtless. And crazy thing, bro, I saw that Inch Chua was actually in attendance that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I saw her IG stories, and she was like taking IG stories and call Referee
Wow.
Ryan. Referee Ryan was giving off Sigma energy, for
Wow.
taking the
Hey,
shot. Yeah,
local performer, singer, songwriter, Inchtra, big fan of pro wrestling apparently.
yeah. So the thing is, the match is so the strokes, right? The stipulation was 5 strokes of the cane.
Yeah.
So after the first stroke, right, he started like welting. I'm like, oh shit, can you take 4 more? They really milked it out, bro. They really milked it out,
Ooh.
and they whacked like so bad that like by the third and fourth, people were telling them stop, stop, stop.
Yeah.
And I believe they didn't do 5. I think by the
Oh.
4th one, they actually stopped him. Yeah, because it was really bad. But kudos to like Rev. Like he was asking for more. But
Yeah.
I think it was Saudi or what. Say, no, stop, cannot. It looked so bad.
Yeah.
So respect to him, and I think the crowd gave him like standing ovation. So
A new babyface star has been made, my friend.
yeah, it is. And if you want to know my ratings for him, bro, check out our Patreon because whoo, he definitely was one of the stars of the night. So my respect to him. And if you do not know what I'm talking about, go look at our Kick to the Gut Instagram. I posted a photo of myself
Yeah.
with him. You can see the welts there for yourself.
There you go. Okay, let's move on to the next match.
Okay, to me this was a kind of a downer match. It was
Oh,
Riz versus Chanwen from
oh,
from Australia, I believe.
Australia. Was it a one-sided beatdown?
Okay, first of all, every girls their panties dropped when Chanwen went into the ring. Not just the girls. I think some of the men their
Oh,
underwear
their
also dropped
panties
as well.
also drop. Ah, okay,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
because they were like, "Holy shit, this guy! Oh my god!" Bro, his body was awesome. Like, I mean, I'm
Hmm.
respectfully like,
You
damn,
look
that
legit
guy,
lah. Okay.
that guy was jacked. But I think no, everyone and their mothers saw like Reese had no chance lah.
For
But
risk.
okay, I love Reese, and I think he's a decent guy, great guy. We talked to him before, but when he came into the ring, right, everyone was just throwing all the Michael Jackson chants at him. Like everyone was like, "Hee," or like, "Hey, Andy, are you okay? Are you okay?" Like yeah, I think because of his resemblance, uncanny resemblance to Michael Jackson.
In the dressing only lah, and the long,
Yeah,
hair.
but he did tell me that he was actually coming to the match injured. I think
Oh.
apparently he had some sort of knee injury. So that to me that gave me more context on why the match wasn't like didn't flow as well.
Mm.
But he got absolutely dominated. He did try to do a double 619.
Oh.
Kudos to him for doing it with bad knees. But bro, like he was more and destroyed by Chanwon lah. Good attempt. My exact notes was good attempt by Reese, but just give out lah, bro. Poor
Oh, poor
fella, poor
thing.
fella.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, now we're at the second half of the match. So we had like a quick break, intermission, and we returned with the women's triple threat match, right?
Mm.
Alexis Lee versus Kaya Toribami and Miyu Yamashita. So Kaya Toribami is apparently from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. So she
Yeah.
was the one that wore the blue blazer style,
Mask.
pigeon mask.
Yep.
And Miyu, she kind of looks a bit like Lita. Her
Oh.
facial structure very much like Lita. So she has this very pretty badass kind of like don't mess with her, don't fuck with her vibe. So for this match, right, my gauge of the enjoyment of this match was from my girlfriend, right? Because I
Ah.
would say like, how do you feel about her, all these
Mm.
wrestlers and all that? I don't want to start any heat, but my girlfriend doesn't like Alexis Lee's. Like she said like she's giving like I don't like the energy that she's giving.
Okay. Well,
So I don't know.
Alexis.
Yeah, so Alexis, I don't know whether she's because she's wrestling as a heel
Yeah.
or not.
Mm.
But she's trying to be like the badass representative of Singapore, but like
She
I
got
think people.
heel tendencies. Yeah.
Yeah, so like the people
Her
weren't
vibe.
really supporting her all the way. They were like
Mm.
more interested in seeing Miyu
Yep.
wrestle or like the Kaya wrestle. So very interesting. You know what she said? My
What?
girlfriend. I'm not trying to put her on the spot, but her analogy was very interesting, and I kind of like, oh, that's a very interesting way of looking at it. So
Mm.
Alexis Lee is like that girl from that girl school that no one likes. And so she wants to piss off everyone by being resentful of them so that she does really, really well and becomes the teacher's pet. It's so specific. Then I'm like, girl,
What?
is there a specific girl that you're referencing from your girls' school days?
Exactly right. It's like,
But
who
do you
hurt you?
agree? Do you agree with that? Like, do you feel that
Yes.
that's the
Yeah,
case?
sure. There's probably
Okay.
an element of that in there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. But a lot of middle fingers, but I think she actually got a spear and an opportunistic victory over what do you call
Al-
it? The two Japanese wrestlers.
so Alexis came out the victor lah.
Yeah, the victor. So very, very
Wow.
interestingly, but I just couldn't help get that picture off my mind when my girlfriend said, I was like, okay, I can see why
Yeah.
people don't like her. But I don't know. This is just one person's opinion.
Mm,
People might disagree. People might say, hey, Alexis Lee, I love her current character. I fuck with her. But yeah, I mean, I guess to each their own, right?
sure.
Okay, cool. We are powering through. This is actually the final match, and I have a lot of notes for this,
Okay.
bro.
The main event,
Yes,
which
the
of
main
course
event.
is the State of Bastards versus Aiden Rex and the Horrors.
Yeah, so the Horrors and Aiden Rex came off as a tag team. They started off doing sweet Ronaldo. I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah,
Like, why
it's
suddenly that was their gimmick?
like I said at the Clash of the Club. I'm like, when did this become Aiden Rex's thing? But apparently
Yeah.
it is his thing now. So
Yeah, but I gotta say, like, the Horrors and Aiden Rex really worked well for like
Mm.
being a put together tag team. Chaos to start the match. Mason was being a great heel. Clearly,
Yeah.
we've always said that he has a great upside.
bro,
So he was.
cannot. We cannot say already. He
Okay,
accused
yeah.
us of dick riding him.
Yeah, bro, your dick are not as big as Benji from the Gym
What?
Bros. So I don't know lah. Okay, anyway, statement I think was directing traffic as of course the ring general. I think so. Immediately all three of them paired up and then like was fighting everywhere, right?
Mm.
But then halfway through the match, this was very, very interesting. They did Statement did a tombstone spot to Aiden on the chair and then followed up by a concerto.
Oh,
It was really sickening, and you know what happened? They actually stopped the match halfway
okay.
because Aiden was like kind of like giving seizures and holding his neck,
Yeah.
and they actually brought out EMTs to take him away. So
Wow.
like even the referee and Dr. Gore was like, stop. Fuck lah, you what the fuck you did? Like they actually stopped the match. Like so that was like wow, a very scary moment. People were like,
But
holy
bro,
shit.
there's already a doctor in the ring, what? Dr.
No,
Go.
that's why Dr. Gore stopped the match. He's like, hey bro,
He's
stop. It was too
doctor.
much. Yeah.
Okay,
So
then.
Aiden got concerted carried out by EMT. So we were wondering whether it was a legit or
Yeah.
an angle, right? So it became at that point a 3-2 advantage. Mason brought out a table that he spray painted "Fuck you, virgins, sincerely SOB." So that was hilarious. And speared Dr. Gore through that table.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so this was when the third quarter of the match, right, was very interesting because Butcherman emerged as the star. Okay, hear me out. Butcherman did this crazy spot where Statement wanted to attack him with a steel chair, but he basically punched his way through the chair to his face.
Wow. What
Yes.
through, like, is it through the hole of the chair or something?
No, he actually punched through the chair and the chair flip
Oh,
kena the head of.
he punched the chair lah.
Yeah, he punched the chair, but his fist powered through the chair.
Wait, he broke the chair?
Over Statement's head. Yes.
Okay.
It's basically like a Bruce Lee, like the thing break and then
Right.
another head and he died. So like
Right.
that was badass. So Butcher punched through the chair, right? And then suddenly they brought out a ladder. So a ladder came into play, right? And they did a crazy spot where they did a superplex from the ladder from Statement to Butcher.
Oh,
to kind of end that part. So like, okay, now there was ladders in play, there was tables. Things were getting crazy, right? You know what happened?
What?
Of course, Aiden Rex had to return Stone Cold style.
Of course.
Of course, despite he was injured, he fuck care, he come in, he ran in, he did a crazy spinning DDT on Statement. Crowd was roaring for Aiden Rex. So I would say Aiden Rex got the second biggest spot of the night after Referee Ryan, right?
Yeah.
For his return. This fella is amazing, bro. You know what he did?
What?
A fucking moonsault from the ladder, from the top of the ladder to the outside of the ring.
Oh, wow.
On the crowd. Yeah, that was amazing. So
on the crowd?
No, as in like to the crowd side lah.
Okay.
So he had the ladder set up in the middle of the ring. He did a moonsault to the rest. Yeah. To everyone. So everyone just died lah.
Right.
Okay, so the ending of the match was Butcher brought out a bunch of Lego bricks, put it on a table, and did a wasteland on Mason.
Oh shit!
Into the Lego plus table. So
oh god,
that was the ending, and Butcher gets the victory with a very interesting stipulation that was announced on the night. Whoever pinned the Statement gets a title shot next.
Wait, but Statement wasn't pinned.
No, sorry. Whoever gets the victory, Statement put his title opportunity on the line. That means whoever
gets the pin lah. Whoever gets the pin, yeah.
But if the SOB get the victory, then they actually get a title shot, a tag team title shot. So that was the stipulation on the night.
But they didn't lah. So now Butcherman is in line for a...
Yes.
Okay.
So Butcherman is going to have a one-on-one title opportunity against this. And I think, bro, this is a long time coming, man.
Yes.
He never had the world title run. So that is crazy. So it was very interesting. He actually, at the end of the night, he got on the mic and then he thanked everyone. And then he also said, I want to thank my wife.
Who? Butcherman, you mean?
Butcherman, yeah. And
pronouns, pal. Pronouns. You gotta be specific.
Butcherman gave tribute to his wife and the crowd started chanting Butcher wife. Butcher wife. Fucking hilarious. And apparently, it was Dr. Gore's birthday month.
Oh.
So we got a huge round of happy birthday chants for Dr. Gore. And Dr. Gore, I think, ended the night by basically giving a shout out to Dante Chen because, Dante Chen wrestled at TNA on National Day.
Yeah.
So we got a Dante Chen chant as well. So
wow.
It was amazing, and I think they ended the night by saying that their next big show will be the anniversary show in November. So we got 2 months to build to the next card. So overall, it was really, really fun night. I think it was a great return to form for SPW. Lots of storyline progressions, and I'm really, really excited to see what's next. And for the rest of the ratings, you gotta read us on Patreon, bro.
There you go. Woo, man. Okay. We'll definitely be at the anniversary show. I am hyped for it already.
Let's go.
But yeah, there you go. That's SPW Hardcore Island 2, A Fine City.
Yeah, very fine city.
It's good to hear that you had a lot of fun. And you know what? The crazy thing is, like, Singapore wrestling right now is heating up so much. There's so much wrestling. As a wrestling fan, you're a little bit spoiled for choice, which is always a good thing, right? And to that point, we're now going to switch over to our guests who are joining us on the show because talking about local wrestling, Grapplemax, they also have a bunch of events that are coming up very, very shortly.
Yeah, brother. I mean, bro, it's a night festival. It's one of the biggest events, not just in wrestling, it's in Singapore. The fact that Grapplemax is back as part of the night festival lineup, we can't wait. So, guys, strap your belts. We're gonna have an interview with Greg and Joseph from Grapplemax.
And hey, joining us on the show as promised, it's Greg, it's Joseph, it's Grapplemax in the house.
Woo!
Hello, guys.
Hello.
It's so nice to see you guys, man. It's been a minute. Hope you guys are doing great. Very busy, I see.
Always great.
Yeah, we're still standing.
Squeeze out
Still
some time in
standing.
between our gigs to have a chat with you guys again.
Yeah, man, and we really appreciate you joining us here on a Sunday morning. Of course, leading up to 2 amazing weekends as we wrap up August, right? Like, you guys are going to be involved in the Singapore Night Festival, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Back again, third time now.
Yeah,
Third time.
yeah.
So it's pretty exciting to be back. Very cool.
I believe the last time you guys did it was actually right before the pandemic, right? Was it 2020?
2018.
2018.
The arcade edition that we ran at SMU.
The one at 2020, the one at the Singapore Flyer, what was that? It was Chingay.
Chingay.
Yeah. Singapore National
That was just
Wrestling Company for all these events.
couple weeks before pandemic.
Yeah, man.
That was January, I think.
That was right before.
Late January.
right
Bro, that was when
2020.
Najwan had that whole Avengers style timeline. We were so excited for that year, remember?
That's when we first began doing this Avengers style thing, right?
Yeah.
That was right before COVID. So before
Yeah.
we knew what was about to happen, then we saw.
Yeah. But I remember Night Fest was also one of a huge like selling point in 2018 because I remember when you guys were doing the Road to Shinkiba and then like that was right after the Night Fest and then everyone was really into the no rope style show that you guys did, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
I think we had some nice momentum from there. I think we had Night Fest, and also we had Night Fest the previous year as well, right? So
Nice.
and it was a different concept because every year they call us back, they're asking us, can you all do like pro wrestling, but also like not pro wrestling?
Yeah.
That's
So
very challenging.
so my question is like for you guys had essentially like a 6-year break before they kind of came back this year. So like how did this conversation first start to have you guys Night Fest?
Yeah, I think that would help. So maybe for some
Yeah.
context this year. So like why the two of us are in this call today, right? So like honestly this year my role in this is a bit more of like a producer, some sort of like stepping back and like a film producer here.
Wow.
I'm not actually involved in the creative much. So that one D is covering that. So he wrote the script, he's doing the direction, choreography is being done by Dave. So we're really operating this particular project quite differently from our normal wrestling shows. So this is really very much like a commissioned theater project. Joseph is one of our lead actors in this project.
Amazing.
So that's just the context as to how we're gonna talk about different topics in this call.
Quick question.
Please.
Is this Grapplemax canon then?
Wow.
I was just asked last week. Someone said, hey, Greg, you said everything is canon right now. I'm like, oh wait.
Bro,
The
multiverse.
alternate universe.
How do you walk back? How do you walk
yeah,
back?
I know. I
from
saw
this?
what was happening to hold on.
Alternate universe. That's the multiverse. So
This is
the Marvel
commission
solution.
project. No, okay, I got it. The canon is this is still Joseph, our Grapplemax wrestler, but he has been hired for a role to play a character on Night Festival.
Okay.
So
So
the
it's
wrestler has been okay.
It's like the Miz doing a role in the Marine. I got this.
yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Everything is still canon.
Everything.
John
is
Cena
okay.
being the peacemaker, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So how it came about, is it the original question?
Yes. Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so pretty cool initial formation. So we've always been in their awareness, right, ever since 2018. So whenever they need someone to do like an interesting wrestling thing with a twist, they sort of like think about us to how can Grapplemax be the crazy guys who come in here and do it again.
Awesome.
I think the initial person who connected us actually was someone from do you all recall our poetry
Poetry
singlet
slam thing.
Yeah.
slam, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
one of the poets from there, Steph Dog.
Yep, Steph Dockford.
Steph, right? So also a good friend of Joseph's. She was the one who first sort of sounded out to both sides that hey, actually, there's this potential opportunity to bring pro wrestling back to the Night Fest. So that was the initial touch point, where Steph sort of like lit that spark again that was waiting. So they called us in and said, okay, we're looking to do again wrestling but with a twist. The first time was just a typical wrestling show in 2017, if you guys recall. 2018 was interactive wrestling. So we let the audience decide the flow of the wrestling, right? So they put up the buttons in the correct sequence, then the face hits his finishing move and everyone cheers. Right? So
Nice.
showing that look, wrestling is not like scripted like end to end. There's a lot of points where literally we're reacting to you and play with the audience, right? So we're helping audiences learn something about wrestling. This time around, a big theme of the Night Fest is this theme of nostalgia versus the need to move forward.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, for example, Peace Center, right? All that nostalgic feels we have for Peace Center, right? But at the same time, we really want to move forward and be more efficient, like go and build a mixed use complex, go and build more high value properties. And so where does that debate lie for Singaporeans? How much do you want to hold on to the past versus embracing the future, right? And then we thought about, okay, can we put wrestling into this theme? And if you think about it, right, wrestling is always going through these themes.
Yes.
All the way from like King Kong Bundy to Hulk Hogan to like now Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Logan Paul, right?
Yeah.
So many different eras. And us as fans are always arguing about this, right? Oh man, I love the old style. I hate this new style crap. Why is this influencer Logan Paul? But actually, Logan Paul is quite good, quite a good wrestler, right? And we thought that's such an interesting debate, which is we love to embrace nostalgia, but actually the new stuff is pretty cool in its own way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how do we make people feel this common factor between pro wrestling and a much more Singaporean feel? And I think that's what got them very excited because, can you all put this theme into this where it matches the overall layout of the place?
Yeah. So how does that play out into what you guys will be doing on the 4 nights itself? So 23rd, 24th, 30th, and 31st of August. Where exactly is it happening?
Cathay Green.
Cathay
So
Green.
you between YMCA and...
So there's SOTA, the way I describe it. So you're standing at SOTA, right? Then there's the junction. And then you look across the road, you're standing, SOTA's behind your back. Across the road, there's the church.
Yeah.
Right? Then the church to the left of it, when you're looking to your left, is YMCA, right? So in between SOTA and the church, there's this grass patch.
Right.
Right?
Gotcha.
That, when we're in the area, you're always crossing the road. You don't really give it second thought, but you know it's there.
Yeah.
That's where this whole event is taking place.
Gotcha. It's not on SMU grounds, right? It's like the
not
other.
this time.
Yeah, it's the other side.
It's really this grass patch, right? And then they've tiled up the area just for this event, and it'll be very cool. So basically, not sure if you all know Sam Low. Sam Low, pretty well known for his street art, graffiti work. He used to be famous for like putting these stickers around the country, and quite newsworthy for that. So he's very much a street art specialist. So what they've done is the whole place is being converted into like a Wonderland theme park kind of place. So they're bringing in things like merry-go-rounds and those traditional funfair rides.
Right.
But Sam has also gotten his team to paint to repaint all these old structures and machines into like a very modern style or a mix of. Then there'll be like game stalls, pasar malam, and then
that's the nostalgia versus moving forward theme lah.
Exactly. So it's super interesting, right? So the whole space is tied into this friction between the two.
Right.
What?
And
this theme and concept like bleeds through all the different exhibitions and pop-ups?
Yes, for the highlight act. So we're part of the highlight act for this year.
Wow. Okay.
So I think the other areas of Night Fest are curated by different people. But Sam is the one who's working with us and also Spoken Bird, the poetry collective, which Joseph is also a part of.
Yes.
To make this highlight act area very conducive.
So it's open air also lah.
Open air, no shelter, so please bring umbrella just in case. Really
pray to the weather gods.
So I saw this IG story that you put up. Like I think a lot of people were asking you, "Hey, is that your ring?" So you guys are legitimately still gonna actually build up the ring and plant it there?
On the grass patch?
No, so tricks of the trade. We aren't doing our ring there.
Okay.
Actually building us I'm going to phrase this very carefully, a ring structure. Not
Okay.
necessarily a traditional ring.
Bro, fight pit, bro, fight pit.
Yeah, something along
Fight
those lines.
pit.
Wow.
So again, it's very cool because even like the apron, all the designs were drawn and designed by Sam. So it would be a full-on collab in terms of how we put this together, which I think is really quite exciting for us.
Whoa. So you guys built a structure from the ground up for this event.
Yeah, so again, it's a bit more of a multifunctional stage because there'll be other programming happening on it.
Yeah.
So we thought it would make sense to bring the ring, especially if it's going to be like open to elements and we have one ring, right? So we don't want to risk leaving it there for 2 weeks. So we talked about how can we do it best, and we thought, okay, let's build this structure which visually resembles a ring, I guess. But we'll still bring in our traditional flooring to make sure it's comfortable for the performers as well.
Right.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. Can you guys bump on that ring?
It will be a full wrestling show, don't worry, right?
Yeah.
In the worst case, we just bump on the wood, he'll be fine.
Oh, sorry,
won't.
Joseph. Respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be a full wrestling show, yeah.
Very, very cool. Okay, so my next question, will there be like a thread running through all 4 nights, or like you guys are having very separate shows each night? Like how would a wrestling fan who wants to kind of like, hey, I want to see this Grapplemax show, but I don't know which show or night to attend,
Okay. So there are 4 we're doing 4 shows. 4 nights, 6 shows. If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
I can remember that.
Okay.
4 nights over this coming weekend and next weekend. Right?
Okay.
4 nights, 6 shows. Each show will tell the same story.
Okay.
I'll put it this way. They'll tell the same story. But we have different performances. We have different wrestlers.
Oh,
got
okay.
you.
You can ask more questions. I think we can, as we go along, I can figure out how much to say. I feel like I'm in Marvel, Disney. Describe the movie.
Cannot
to
say
you.
too much. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Just to get
And Deadpool this.
how do I Deadpool? Not how do I not Spider-Man this? Spider-Man.
Spoil it.
I
For
don't
us,
give
right?
too many spoilers, but point being, all 6 shows will have tell the same story, but we will have different performers.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna Jimmy Fallon this and ask this next question.
Yes.
So which Grapplemax wrestlers will be involved?
Okay. No, okay. I think I can answer this.
yeah,
Yes,
okay.
this one can tell.
Okay.
So Dave, Smart Dave, Big
Smart
Dave.
Dave.
Dave and YC.
Mm.
They're actually in all 6 shows. I think I'll put it this way. Dave and
Okay.
YC.
Okay, cool.
And the rest of them then so Dave is will be playing an older character than who he actually his actual age. I think
Much
interesting.
older.
much older.
Okay.
Right. So Dave is much older and YC might be actually playing someone who's much younger.
Okay, yeah, that
So
makes
again,
a lot of
playing
sense.
going back to the whole nostalgia or old versus clash of philosophies, old versus young, right? So you've got Dave being a much older person, YC being a much younger person. And Dave also has uncles in his corner, shall we say?
Uncle.
Right? And uncle in his corner.
Can
And
we share the structure of it?
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I spoke about it on the press conference too.
okay, so it's already semi out there. So
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Dave plays this kopitiam uncle. He owns a
Mm.
kopitiam coffee shop, right? And he's in his 60s, 70s. So maybe pioneer, not even bodega, pioneer generation,
Okay.
right? And he has a kaki, right? And that kaki is played by both SPD Sean Pua and myself.
Mm.
Oh,
Right? So
okay.
that character, that's what I mean. We have a rotating cast.
Rotating cast. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. So there's that. So we've got 2 uncle kakis. And at the start of the show, they have an argument. They have a bit of a disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
And they will settle that with a match.
But
But why they're fighting, we will leave it to the audience to understand why.
Yeah.
But there will be a narrative reason for why they're
There's
fighting.
Okay.
so that's the first.
Yeah.
That's how this starts, right?
Mm.
Okay.
You've got 2 uncles and they've got a disagreement. 2
Mm.
pioneer generation uncles. Along the way, as I said, YC is this Gen Alpha older Gen Alpha, shall we say?
Gen Alpha.
Oh, Gen Alpha. Actually, no. He's probably Gen Z. He's a younger Gen Z.
Yeah,
Gen
yeah,
Alpha, I
younger
think they're
Gen
still in school, right? That's
Yeah.
what I was doing math. He's a young Gen Z, right? And he has a partner. He has a business partner or intern, actually. So this intern, so there's YC, this influencer / business thought leader, Gen Z. He has an intern, and this intern is played by Ban and Devan, right? Who just made his debut in NWE. Was it?
Oh
2 weeks ago?
yes, he had his graduation match, right?
So there's YC and his correct. YC and his intern being played by either Ban or Devan. So these two Gen Zs have an idea of, Dave's character, Dave's Kopitiam uncle character. They have an idea how to modernize his Kopitiam. But Big Dave, Dave's character disagrees. He doesn't want them to implement their ideas.
Yep.
So then that leads into another disagreement, a bigger disagreement, and that becomes a tag match.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
It's
I like it. I like it.
philosophical debate between old and new, right? Between Kopitiam and say Yakun chain franchise, right? Between cash payments and pay now. Except all the debates are settled through the art of pro wrestling.
Oh, I like
It's like
it.
it's like playing Mortal Kombat storyline mode. You know, every time they fight,
Yes.
they having a conflict, they suddenly let's settle this right now.
Yeah.
I think
breaks into
that's
a
what
fight.
the correct. So I think that's what Nightfest loved about it as well, where it's just so absurd, right? We already know wrestling is so absurd. Now we get into the situation where, hey, come lah, Kopitiam fight, but then something got body slam lah, got every slot going on.
Yeah.
I think they like that visual. At the same time, it's also again relevant to I think what pro wrestling fans fight about all the time. So we're hoping that it sort of pulls together people who, as usual, want to discuss pro wrestling, and also those who don't really care about pro wrestling, but they care about these kind of like national issues. And can they all be in the same space at the same time and sort of feeling the same feeling at the same time? Wow, I support that. But the new kid quite cool. I like Peace Center, but I also like modern buildings with aircon facilities.
Yeah.
And that emotion is very shared among people.
Yeah.
And
absolutely right. Like that, the idea, Sunday morning, let's go for brunch at a fancy cafe where you pay $10 for your coffee, right?
Right.
Then you read, Kopitiam. Then Monday, tomorrow, you go for lunch at your Kopitiam. Then you're like, how come the cai peng so expensive? That duality, right? Then you're like, how come cai peng so expensive? If it's more expensive, no one will preserve that culture. So I think that's part of that's the global, I think that was the hook for Nightfest to get interested in us.
Very interesting. It's almost as if like if it was a movie, right? And pro wrestling is movies, right? And then like there's different genres where like, hardcore match is violence and like a comedy style match is comedy. Would you say like this so-called performance is like auteur indie house style?
Wow.
Or tour sport entertainment.
We should say yes, then Dominic will feel very shocked.
Yeah, there is definitely an author element.
See the bola angkat.
Dom is the Christopher Nolan of Singapore wrestling.
Oh, we just used two very different era of directors.
There you go, Stanley Kubrick versus
but also Chris Nolan is like massive Kubrick fan, right? As you can tell. But no, the author bit, yes. I think the correct answer is yes. But actually, if you ask me, my first response to the question is more like, it's more Netflix limited series in the sense that I feel like I feel like the topics have, at least what I just said, that theme has wide appeal, I hope. Right? Singaporeans have a lot of things to say about nostalgia, losing our heritage, but then we love our avocado toast, right? Which is really it's probably I'm showing my age, but
acquired taste.
Yeah. Right. Okay. But also I think when maybe I can share when we were, yes, this is Dom's author thing, but then when we were in, all of us performers, when we were sitting together, we're like, okay, what is the story we want to tell? Right. And Greg already alluded to it. There is a so-called Singapore history subtext or thread in the story. But then again, there's, in pro wrestling, in the WWE, AEW worlds, we already see clash of philosophies matches,
Sure.
Yeah.
right? Different styles, different takes on how do you fight in a ring, right? So that came out, and we hope that also that will come out for people who have more wrestling experience or a bit more who are fans. They show up, they will get that maybe added dimension as well.
Sweet chin music versus super kick parties.
I love it.
Young has very strong feelings about this, right?
Yes, very much so. So, question, like the showcase itself, right? Is it something that happens several times during each night, or is it like there's a specific time? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so there's 6 separate showings of this performance. So this is happening 6 times over 4 nights. So the 2 Fridays will be 1 performance at 8 p.m. Then the 2 Saturdays will be I think it's 8 and 1 is 9:30, 1 is 9. So you can check the socials for the details on the performances.
Okay.
Just to be clear to our fans who want to go again, you don't have to go for all 6. We would love it if you did, but you really don't have to. It's not going to be evolving story over time. So it's more or less the same base script.
I see.
Having said that, for those who do want to come multiple days for some reason, again, one thing is you might see different wrestlers performing the same role, which could be quite fun. The second thing is we are also exploring internally, like, okay, we think the crowd's going to respond this way, but what if they don't? Right? What if we completely got this wrong, right? And the cool thing about this is, unlike a typical wrestling pay-per-view, we have a do-over. Right. So right. So not on the spot.
But on the next show,
correct. So we're gonna have sort of like a get together among the cast and crew in the days in between the 2 weekends. And we're gonna think, okay, do we want to change it, evolve it in some way to sort of improve that conversation with the audience? So then you might even see this I guess this art piece, I suppose, evolve over time based on how the audience responds to us.
Okay, if you put it that way, it's almost seeing like it's like a run of Miss Saigon or like Hamilton, right? So it's like multiple dates. But like, each show is technically a live performance, so like things might change, but essentially we're still trying to tell the same story.
Exactly, right. So we might trim some parts of the lines, we might maybe talk more, talk less, maybe this move didn't really work for people, Again, we're designing this for people who, if you think about it, right, this is very different from the previous, like, say, Night Fest or Singlet, where people sit down and they watch this for half an hour straight. This time around, the guideline to us was, okay, this is an open, freestanding space, and you're going to be surrounded by Ferris wheel, and all these different pasar malam stalls. So you have to design something where even if people just see it for like 30 seconds, they have something to take home. Right, and you can tell your friends. Oh, very simple. Uncle versus influencer. Done. Our team. I understand. Take my Instagram, go off. So we're sort of designing it for those like very short clips as well.
Gotcha. So it's you're almost catering to the walking crowd, like the
I think it has to be walking crowd. It's definitely walking crowd because if and when you guys pop by, it's a carnival, right? Which is almost goes back to the roots of
wrestling. Yeah.
Right, it's a carnival.
Got you.
It was wrestling, right? It
was wrestling.
It's
not,
like back in the 60s.
Yeah, there was. It's not a captive audience, as it were, right? It's not like people pay, get a ticket, and I have to watch 5 matches, or I have to watch 2 matches, right? This one is like they just see some noise. Oh, I need to go. I want to see something else. They just wander off, even though the finisher hasn't hit, right? So cool.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It won't hurt our feelings. It's okay. Go ahead.
That also leads me to my next question. How would you plan to retain audience attention enough for them to kind of like stay to watch through the rest of the show? Because like you said, I'm assuming there's gonna be noises coming from everywhere else and music and all that kind of stuff. So like, or are they gonna help you by saying that, okay, when during your performance timing, all the stuff is gonna dim down and like it's just gonna be on you?
Pretty unlikely. We do have some lighting and sound cues we're going to be doing to, of course, draw people in. I think usually when this kind of things start, people coming in is not the difficult part because something happening over there, I'm going to go and watch, right? That's pretty normal. I think the challenging part is once they've seen the first body slam, will they stay beyond that? You're not a wrestling fan, right? I think our fans would stay for sure. If you're not a fan and you want to cover like 6 things in your 2-hour night festival outing, how do we convince you that you're going to take up 20% of that?
Yeah.
And I think that really comes down to, of course, the quality of the performers. And again, how do we make sure that no matter where you come in, it's so obvious that you can tell why these people are fighting, right? Because they have no context of what is pro wrestling.
Correct.
What is everything we just told you took maybe about 5 minutes to explain. How do we make it tighter for like a 30-second glimpse? And I think that's our challenge. We don't know if it's going to work. That's why it's so exciting for us, where again, it's sort of us trying another new way to bring wrestling to the audience.
Auteur, you're right. It's an
auteur.
Indeed,
I think the
indeed.
beauty of pro wrestling in the art form that it is, right? It's quote unquote, it's violence, right? Like I think people are drawn to that no matter what. So yeah, I think from the first body slam, people will already be like, hey, what's going on? Why are people fighting? Why is this uncle fighting this youngster? Blah, 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 that kind of thing, right? And I don't think it'll be too hard to get people to stick around. But I get what you're saying, like, because it will be very distracting. There's going to be a lot. It's like going to an amusement park, right?
It is exactly an amusement. Yeah. And it's traffic. There's actually traffic right next to it.
Like
I would say
cars. Like there's cars and traffic noises, right?
Can you see the ring from the road?
I think you can. You can definitely can.
So that's why I posted on my story. Like my friends were sending me photos, like walking past the canteen. Hey, bro, it's not yours. Yeah, I guess it's there.
Nice.
Okay, so we definitely need it to be as visually appealing or like get people's attention that people can just like IG story like, I just saw wrestling, I just passed by the bus.
That's modernization right now. Everything is for the TikTok generation. The same thing, we're sort of facing the same debate, right? At the same time, we want to give a very classic old school wrestling match, but also we're serving the TikTok generation for this performance. So on a very meta view, even the performance creation itself is going through the same debate. Authors.
A bit of a side topic, because I think it kind of links to this though. Like WWE going to Netflix, right? What's your thoughts on that? Like as it relates to like this debate, right? Like now that if you were to book pro wrestling on a streaming platform, will you do anything differently, or will you still keep like the current principles of like trying to cater to a television audience?
Wow, big question. You want to go first?
Wow. No, that's a great question. I think, no, not that. Okay, firstly, I think that question literally, the audience, like the best pro wrestling, the audience will figure it out. And what I mean by the audience will figure it out is because, okay, right now we have WWE Network and all, different companies will have their own platforms, right? Based on streaming behavior that they obviously have the analytics, are people binging? Because what all Disney Plus Netflix has shown us is it can literally change how we watch a show and how we consume it. Right. So even like you can see, I think some shows that you realize the cliffhangers are not at the cut of the episode and not when the episode cuts. Sometimes the cliffhangers are a little bit before that because they know people are just gonna watch 6 episodes straight through. What is that going to happen for wrestling? I think maybe WWE platform or whatnot. They might have the answers already because they have their own platform, right? But and maybe for us, but because wrestling is always episodic weekly, right? That was my first thought. The second thought, which I've actually talked to a bunch of Grapplemax, in the locker room, in the roster, talk with Greg about this before, is I hope it brings about a revival. Right, because it's the barriers are now so much lower. Anyone can watch it with their grandparents or with their grandkids, right? Hopefully, it brings about a revival in the local pro wrestling scene, and people, and it brings more people to it.
Sorry, you were saying, right?
Oh, okay. No, I think what would be quite cool also is you think about how you choose what you watch on Netflix, right? And very often, right, they put a lot of time into configuring the algorithm to show you what appeals to you, that you would just choose this one impulsive show. So I think when you put wrestling up there, it becomes a case of, okay, I'm sort of flicking between movie of the month or of the week, Korean drama of the week, this wrestling thing, all right? And I think that makes that initial 30-second, 1 minute part of the video have to be even more appealing, even more straightforward. So this is why you're going to sit here and watch this wrestling thing and stick with this, right? Because how many times have we gone into, I'm going to watch this movie, watch the credits, and don't want to change channel, watch something else. I do it all the time.
I do it all the time.
And I think again, you're going back to, okay, now you're putting it up there on demand with thousands of other programming.
Yeah.
I think if you want to really push wrestling, you got to think about, okay, how do I keep all these millions of new viewers who might be sitting in a room with their family and family not wrestling fans? How do I force them to let me choose this wrestling show and show you Raw, show you why Raw is amazing? Right.
You know what? And I think this new guy, this Lee Fitting, the guy who's replacing Kevin Dunn, has been. If you guys realize, if you, I don't know, you all are very busy man, but if you manage to sit and watch 3 hours of Raw recently, right? They are doing a much better job of profiling each wrestler. Like for example, okay, if Rhea Ripley enters the ring, right, and then she's posing in the ring, and then it cuts into a commercial. Right before it cuts into a commercial, they will do like a quick 10 seconds like slideshow showing all her movesets.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Like this
Really
moving,
cool.
this graphics, right? And then also like when they are walking into the ring, and then, you know, last time they will always have like a trivia of like each wrestler, like, whether it's some stat or something. But now the way they are kind of like doing the copy for it, it's like really appealing to a mainstream. I never watched wrestling before. Like for example, Rhea Ripley recently appeared on the Call of Duty game as a playable character. Like that is the stat that they put.
Yes.
So my thinking is like when they go into Netflix, they're gonna really they're gonna take 5 seconds or maybe 1 minute of the show just doing like a Rhea Ripley character profile so that you kind of know what exactly is Rhea Ripley all about before her match even starts.
I love it. And even for the established wrestling fans like us, right? Again, like you just said, we're also busy to watch. So even for us, like we can't even keep up with 1 hour a week, let alone like 3 hours times multiple shows. And I think this is a super great way to keep us or to get us reinvested in the product, simply because it wouldn't make sense to keep up before with all this content. Right. And then it used to be, I think you hear about Raw from your friends and then you maybe watch the YouTube highlights. But I think what Farhan's describing here is now you're putting those into the broadcast itself. So you make it easier to consume within the show.
Yeah, you don't have to seek out the specific content you want to watch yourself. It's just all there.
It's very much a sports presentation though. Like, I mean, we talk about sports-based presentation, right? If you look at NFL and NBA, it's chock full of little nuggets of information like this. Like everybody got a little highlight package, little placard that comes up, you know. So I think what they've actually really done, it's honestly nothing new, but it's just the way it's presented and then bringing it to the forefront with this new guy like you were talking about, Foreign.
And another question, okay, I think this leads back into Night Festival and also with Grapplemax as well. Like, what have you guys experimented this year that you feel is different from other years up to this point? Because, okay, of course, you guys are returning back to Night Festival with a new improved format or so-called approach, right? But what do you guys feel that you guys have tried to push the boundaries in terms of like local wrestling to see what can be added or like what can be a part of a new direction for wrestling in Singapore?
I think one part definitely is a very high frequency of shows, as we've shown this year. Right? I think when we moved in here, one thing we said we had to do was no matter what, regardless of the audience size, whatever it is, right, we're going to run 1 show a month, right? And how that helps is it shows you that, okay, now there is a story you're going to follow, right? If it used to be the old ways of once every 3-4 months, the show becomes a spectacle. The story is, okay, by the way, I'll follow it if I have time, but otherwise it's not crucial. We're trying to show, look, we have at least 11 to 12 touch points every single year where there is an additional tweak to the storyline. And we're hoping that we can educate audiences over time that, no, you should pay attention because like all these little things matter. Even if it's just 10% of the audience, right? At least those will feel extra invested and hopefully bring more people like them. I guess the other thing is we're seeing more and more invitations, I guess, to inject wrestling into interesting new situations where it could never be done before, right? So I think we've always sort of dabbled in this with like the poetry singlet thing, with the sports expos, with Chingay. And I think this year, again, by having the space in this studio we have, we can try a lot more bizarre things, right? So now you heard about the gender reveal parties we threw. We might, can I say this? Yeah, okay, whatever. So we might be doing a stand-up comedy wrestling thing.
I love it.
In a few weeks, in fact. So we're trying to sort of figure out, it's very fast. So again, an entirely different audience, right? I don't think Joseph knows about this. So entirely different audience. So we're trying to appeal to the comedian audience and see if that flies as well. So I'll leave it. So that was more of
Nice.
we're being commissioned to work with them. So I'll leave it to that group to market the event separately. But basically, we're trying to try different ways to like, oh, wrestling here also can, like, oh, comedy also can, right? Last December we worked with another improv comedy group, and we did an experimental theater project in the ring. So they sort of had like lines where they played like a cleaner and like some vandalism littering fella. And then same thing, they sort of settled their feud with a wrestling fight. And that was performed to their theater peers who had all never seen wrestling before. And they had a theater debate discussion about how wrestling theater can be interlocked together. And now that team just got a residency at ITI, the Institute of Theater Studies,
Intercultural Theatre
to
Institute.
spend 3 months specifically studying how wrestling can be part of theater.
Where is this at?
Bro,
Where's
hang
ITI
on.
at?
Bro, wrestling is theater. What are you talking about? Just
Yes.
because they don't
So the
know,
four
but
of
we
us
all
in this
know.
room, we all know this.
Yeah.
But if you are, say, Singapore Arts,
Let's say
okay.
you're
that's a whole
class 3
different thing,
trained actor,
right?
right? Yeah.
If we were, we would easily be going out there saying, hey, we're an arts organization, but we're not. Simply because there's so many barriers, right? And this is why we're all doing all these different ways of talking about wrestling
Quick question. ITI, so this residency, where is this at? Where they're studying this?
So it's in Singapore.
Yeah.
I think ITI stands for Intercultural Theatre Institute.
Okay.
If you Google, if you look up their Insta handle, I think Greg is trying to look it up. Is it at
Wilkie Road?
Okay, so their Instagram handle is ITI_SG, right? So they're a Singapore theatre organization, and the people that Greg worked with, that Grapplemax worked with, just got a residency to. So now
amazing.
that barrier is now a lot more porous.
Okay.
You're absolutely right, Young. Absolutely right. Grapplemax is theatre. In fact, I went for an actual theatre play show over the weekend. And Singapore being Singapore, they have must fill a feedback form afterwards.
Oh,
okay.
Right?
Of course.
And one of the questions is, how many theatre productions do you attend in a year, right? And I'm like, if I count Grapplemax, it's at the top of the. Right? I'm right. I don't need to count, right? So it's absolutely 500%. Pro wrestling is theatre, and I think where Greg and I think all of us is, we want people to know that's a fact. We want more Singaporeans to know. We want more people in the region to know pro wrestling is theatre, and you should come and watch it. Come and be a part of it.
I love this whole conversation because like my follow-up question to that was like, beyond whatever you guys have been doing now and all these interesting collaborations / mediums that you guys want to place wrestling in, what is next? Like if you guys had a like aspirational collaboration idea of like, okay, I want to put Grapplemax in this situation or collaborate with this medium, what would it be? Because
NDP, bro, NDP.
Yeah.
Wrestling segment,
spoil
imagine that.
Bro, Singapore, NDP 60 years next year. There's a history of pro wrestling in Singapore.
I hate saying such things because I don't want to jinx it.
Be
lying if I said we haven't ever thought about what you just said. Of course, the path to get there is very difficult.
Wow. Yeah,
you need enough people in the right places to go, actually, this is perfectly fine. This is not some violent, dangerous niche, common thing. And there are some things which I can't announce today, but like I had 2 really interesting meetings yesterday about potential venues and partners. Some of these maybe in the long run could lead towards a more national level visibility for the sport and for the art. I just want to share now because it's very early days, but these are really interesting. Like, you would not imagine the place that we talked about last night.
I love it.
It's insane. I can't even figure out how to do it yet, but they really want to do it.
That's a good problem.
I guess the context here is that the people who run these places we talked about are also wrestling fans.
Nice.
So it's crazy, right? Again, the theory stands, which is everyone somewhere is a wrestling fan in some way.
Yes.
Or they have someone in the team who's a wrestling fan. And I think we're finding it easier and easier to have these conversations. I think if we were to talk about this when we first started doing these conversations like 6-7 years ago, right? It was always like, how do we tell people about pro wrestling, how it's legit, what is pro wrestling? Now the combos have sort of shifted towards, we know wrestling, we know you guys are around, how can we work together? And that's changed so much in the last 2 years. I think partly because of what we're all doing to sort of move it forward as a mainstream art form.
As an industry almost, right? And it's so interesting because like when I was thinking of like where can local wrestling be in mediums, right, that we haven't explored before. I think I was just kind of watching the Iron Claw a week back or something like that, and I was thinking to myself like, what if, right, a really established veteran, well-known Singapore celebrity actor does a transformation / wrestling role? Because I was like looking at Zac Efron very long when he was playing Kevin Von Erich, right? I was thinking to myself like, nobody will give a shit about this movie if they do not know about wrestling. But if they're a fan of Zac Efron and watch High School Musical, they would at least have this movie in their visibility because like, oh, Zac Efron is doing a wrestling role. That's so fucking random. So in my fucking forehead, I was thinking like, what if like a one-time Adrian Pang or like a one-time, I don't know, whoever is fucking popular right now, like a established celebrity in Singapore, just does like a very like serious wrestling role and emotes it, and it can be either be a theater production or like a short film that really has like backing. And then the medium becomes like the background for a very true tragic story. Like, because I know there has been some local productions or like short films or movie that has wrestling in it, but wasn't like taken to a very serious level.
No.
What I'm saying is like, you know, if you really commission a proper story with wrestling as the medium, that will be very interesting. And then I'm imagining Grapplemax as like a Chavo Guerrero, where they're like the wrestling coordinator / consultant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Young was saying.
For the most part, local productions cannot even make it really. Now you want to make it even more niche, bro. Hey, your dreams
The Young is shooting now.
I know. As much as I would love it, obviously, but it's like, you know, they've tried to do movies about MMA, right? Because have you heard about the shows and the TV shows? And no, you haven't.
Actually, there was a MediaCorp series about MMA.
There was.
Yeah.
Do any of us know the name of it? Who starred in it? Exactly, right? So it boils down to the money and the script and everything lah. Like this is a thing that the local entertainment scene has suffered from for the longest time, right? Everyone has these amazing ideas, but can they make it can they make it in the first place? Can they make it relevant and popular? Yes.
But Young, do you think the blocker there is it awareness or lack of awareness, therefore lack of funding, because people don't think it's worth investing into this?
So it's a cyclical problem lah.
Yeah. So I think it's a very long game we have to play lah, right? So I think it's a very cool vision to have Adrian Pang and Pandemonium putting together a wrestling riot. I would love to do that. If he's listening, I'll happily do that with him. But I think it's more a case of, okay, we're sort of making baby steps and now bigger and bigger strides towards more and more people in the entertainment field who are aware of this, and not just aware, right? But I think Young, you're one of the first, right, to sort of get into the ring and take a spear, for example, and that again is triggered traumatic memories. But it's true, right? Where people who are in the fairly high visibility doing what we do sort of helps us spread that word. And I think, you know, more and more. Yesterday I went to this event and like 4 or 5 people came to me talking about wrestling, like in different entertainment fields. And that's what we know, right? That okay, we are slowly encouraging more of these conversations, and out of maybe 10 conversations, if 2 of these right become some potential project, right? If one becomes a project, I mean, who would have thought we'll be going back to the Singapore Night Fest like for a third time? That's crazy to me, right? And each time a different concept, which means it wasn't just like, can we commission you to do a wrestling show? Can we trust you guys to give us a new artistic take using wrestling? And that's a whole different conversation. We had like 5-6 years ago. And I think this is what, as a community, we're very proud of, where this is what has changed in the last 2-3 years at least.
Going back to your point about like, you know, identifying people in this like leaders in the field, or like, you know, in entertainment, or like being higher ups who are actually wrestling fans, right? It goes back to like you being able to network and be in those conversations, in those rooms where you can kind of strike those conversations and like find out like, hey, shit, this guy who is like the CEO of blah 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 is actually a wrestling fan, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost as if you need to be Professor X and have a cerebro, bro, and identify who are all the mutants, you know, in living among us.
I think a good example is sorry, Young, you're saying first? Go ahead.
No, sorry, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Like Joseph, for example, he went to the poetry, the Writers' Fest, right?
Yes.
But then your profile pic was like your wrestling.
Yeah, because that was the nicest one. And that's in my bio now. I think
I love it.
But to answer both, I think both your, so firstly, foreign. And And going back to Iron Claw, I think my understanding was it was the writer director. It was his passion project. That's number one, right? Yeah. So he had made, I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
he had made. I think his first indie film actually starred Scarlet Witch. What's her name?
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah. So his first, he was author. He was the real indie film director, but starred, I think, Elizabeth Olsen. So but this, from what I remember reading, Iron Claw was his passion project, right? 1970s Texas wrestling and the Von Erich that dynasty. So it is one thing to network, find your Adrian Punks, who maybe they have, they had Hulk Hogan poster in the bedroom, right? That kind of thing. But also, hopefully we get to spark. I mean, it goes down to, that's why we're here, right? That's why all four of us, that's why Greg is, I am here, is passion. So it's just, if we can find those people who have already the network, already the not just one foot, but the whole body in the media court to say, hey, can we tell a wrestling story? I think that's what we need to somehow spark or find.
Yeah. I think the point I was trying to make here was I think, so raising Joseph's example, right, is that I think it's very cool now that we have more and more people in the industry, in Grapplemax, in SPW, elsewhere, who are very comfortable and very brave to go out there and say, yeah, I am in fact a pro wrestler. Not in a Howlian way, but also not in a, I'm a pro wrestler, I say, right? It's just, yeah, I'm a pro wrestler, and I do this as on the side. And whatever networks each of these guys have, by seeing these, could then in turn activate these conversations down the line. And that's very exciting, where, before it was just a few of us who were like spokespersons for this. But now we've made it so much more comfortable for people to go out there and say, yeah, I'm a pro wrestler. It's no big deal. All right, I'm a pole dancer. I'm a whatever. I'm a Krav Maga specialist. Who cares? It's just another thing. And if this is interesting to you, but you think this might be a way to make whatever you do in your life more interesting, come talk to me, and we'll intro you to Grapplemax. Right, and then this is where it becomes super interesting, right? Like, so this venue I spoke to yesterday, we actually got it through Devon, our NWE graduate. So he went to venue, and he used to be a dancer, and he saw some event going on, and he on his own time went to go and pitch to them to say how amazing pro wrestling was, and I'm from this Grapplemax place, and maybe you could have a discussion. And then, like, a few days later, boom, here we are with a new venue that maybe could host wrestling, who we didn't know were managed by wrestling fans.
Wow.
I wouldn't find it, right? Because like I wouldn't be eating this group, but people here are like, yeah, I will go out there and I'll represent pro wrestling. And I think this is the super exciting part, where it's so much more out there now than years ago.
What we need basically is to discover the minister that is a wrestling fan. Once we have a minister, then things start moving forward, Either that or one of you all go and run for office.
No choice.
Greg NMP.
So the one half of Chips Ahoy, I think one of the shits like Sarah Cohart, right?
Yeah.
Like she's when Halima Yacob was still president, she took a selfie with her, right? Because Halima is very friendly, as all presidents are. Then we were like, hey, why you don't never invite her to wrestling? But didn't Tan Cheng Bok show up for one of the pro wrestling shows in Singapore? I think.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, right. He did. So I think maybe Mr. Young, you might be onto something there.
I mean, that's Singapore, right? I think
it's you always need the establishment.
You know what? Okay, I'll probably end this with a crazy story I want to tell you guys. Like, so I'm working in Property Guru right now, right? So and basically we just have like new management take over, who is like my group marketing director lah. So we have like so I'm part of the consumer marketing group. So suddenly this guy come down and sit to me and he said, "Fahn, what crazy marketing ideas you have for me?" He literally looked at me right in the face and say that, and I said, and I'm telling you a true story here. Said, I like pro wrestling, and there's actually a local wrestling scene in Singapore. And then he was like, "What? Where?" And then my office is in PLQ, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's just down the road. It's go on Grapplemax just down the road in Ubi. So I'm trying to get my group marketing director and my department to go for like a social night to watch a Grapplemax show.
Awesome.
So and I know his eyes, he's that kind of guy, because like a former, I think he's from LinkedIn, he was from Instagram, Meta, he proper Forbes 30 under 30 investor, blah blah blah. And he's like really big on crazy ideas. So in this last year that we were, I've been working with him. We've commissioned like reality TV shows. We've done like activation for National Day. They were getting involved in, and like basically if you look at our social media, it's like really crazy out there ideas, and it's really on experimentation. And it's based on the fact that like we are an industry leader, we are already established. We don't need to like do the same old. Let's try to innovate and bring the thing forward. And I was thinking in how from a pro wrestling sense, right, like what you guys are doing is very, very similar. So long story short, I'm trying to get my group director to go watch the Grapplemax show so that I can kind of pitch you guys here. So we are, I think between me and Young, we are doing what we can to kind of like spread the gospel of pro wrestling.
Much appreciated.
In our current networks. But again, like you say, it's a long game, and I think Netflix will change a lot of things. Will change everything.
Yeah, no, January is going to be exciting. Like, see what happens.
It is showing in Singapore, right?
We were trying to figure that out.
Yes, it is.
Believe so. Yes.
We had this conversation, me and Young. It was like even in the US, it's only available. Raw is only available in US and Canada.
Yeah.
But the whole wrestling suite is available worldwide. That means Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view is available on Netflix everywhere else.
Did they confirm that though, or because
yes,
here's the
yes,
thing.
it's confirmed.
If StarHub still retains the rights, then we no luck already.
Yeah.
Oh, StarHub. Right. StarHub.
Because StarHub has the rights to broadcast WWE in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yes, it is on a rolling basis though, so we do not know when that contract runs out.
I hope they end that contract because I ain't freaking subscribing to no StarHub or bullshit. Super Sports. Come on, man.
Yeah, bro.
Super Sport.
Well, hopefully it comes to Singapore.
Yeah.
That'll be a real game changer. I feel bad for AEW, but oh well.
Oh, we had that's why we were a bit delayed lah. We had 20 minutes talking about what the hell is All In. Is it
All In
happening
is
or
this
is it not
upcoming
happening?
week, but like
Yeah,
literally
this
no
upcoming
buzz,
week.
no hype.
Yeah. It's quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to end this podcast on a downer. So okay. As a last pitch for like your show, like can you give us like again what can we expect for this weekend, because it's happening this weekend and
next weekend also.
Yeah, let us know the times and how we can reach out if you're gonna catch the show.
So, well, I think we have a show on Friday. This Friday, we have 2 shows on Saturday. Right.
Okay.
And this Sunday, do we have a?
No. Okay. So it's 2 Fridays, 2 Saturdays. Okay. So the 2 Fridays will be 23rd and the 30th. These are 8 p.m. shows. Then the Saturday shows, we have 2 shows. So on the Saturday, it's 9:30 on the 24th, 9 p.m. on the 31st. Remember that? So go to our socials. It's going to be all there as well.
Yeah.
Right. So follow Grapplemax, follow at SG Night Fest. Also details are all there as well.
Yeah.
Just one thing. So it is ticket. The area is ticketed.
Okay.
So that gives you like I think a bundle of tokens to use on like the Pasar Malam and to win prizes and stuff like that. So ours is a free area within the ticketed area. So you have to buy a bundle of tokens to get in, but you have to use tokens to watch our show.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So the tokens have to be used for all the games around the area.
Or the makan
Just
or whatnot.
just to clarify, like, is it ticketed? It's free. Yeah. So it's kind of like a bit of both.
Okay,
and
cool.
if anyone is sort of in that situation where you're trying to convince your other half to consume wrestling content, and because they've never done so before, Singapore Night Festival, this is the perfect opportunity. Hey, come, dear, let's go and see Pasar Malam, check out the rides. And then, hey, look, over there, Grapplemax, what's going on?
Wrestling, why?
Wow, so exciting. Come, let's watch. That's how you get them in. That's how you get them hooked.
That's the
there
goal.
you go.
Great
That's
for
the
gram.
plan.
Great for the gram. We're spending thousands of dollars on the wardrobe, so come for the grams. Yes, we got a big budget for wardrobe. Okay,
wow.
So it'll look cool. We're pretty planning this for the Instagram generation and the TikTok.
All right,
generation.
can't wait to catch it.
Out.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Greg, Joseph, guys, thank you so much for joining us on a Sunday morning. We really appreciate your time, and of course, we are very excited to see you guys at the Singapore Night Festival.
Looking forward to it, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.